Alrighty. Okay. What up? What up? Okay, let's start this. Tyrium, 3, 2,
Yo.
1. Let's go. What's up, everybody? How's it going? Last minute. Tyrium
Last minute,
boy,
baby.
to come
That's
on
it.
in here. Thank you so much for coming on the Battlefield
Of course.
Show, episode number 3 with the one and only Tyrium. All well wishes to Daddy Drip Drips, bro. I hope you get better. Got the flu sickness that I got not too long ago. So
Listen, we both know that he knew I was available, and it was obviously a better option. So, I think the more important question, Julian, is this is episode number 3, and it's taking you this long to get me on here. I mean, what's going on?
What the hell's wrong with me?
What's going on? I should be guest number 1. I mean, we're talking about the one and only Tyrium here. I mean, what's happened? I wouldn't even have been number 3. What number would I have been, Julian?
I don't know.
What number would I have been? I mean, how far down the ladder have I fallen?
Listen, okay, well, I got to know you a lot later in my streaming career, so if you can call it that. And
so
I wanted to do it.
I've fallen down the totem pole.
Right. I wanted to do it a little chronologically, kind of, like people I like really know I wanted to start off with, right? But Daddy Drip Drips, I don't even know him that well, so it's kind of like, okay, I need to get out of my comfort zone.
What are you saying?
Yeah,
so
exactly.
Now you're putting these people ahead of me, random people like Daddy Drip Drips.
Right,
I'm just kidding. I love Daddy Drips. I've actually known him since Battlefield 1. So if he is in fact sick and not just outrageously afraid of me, then I feel bad for him. So
yeah, exactly. What's up, guys? What's up, Devil's Rock? How you doing?
Devil's Rock, Ollie, Lawn Grub. What's up, guys?
How's it going? Okay, so I wanted to show you something here. If you got the stream open,
I do. I do. It's a little bit delayed, but I'm with it.
It's all good. It's all good. So you did something here a long time ago. This is your first video on YouTube.
I already know what this is. I already know what
you
this
did
is.
something spectacular back in the day.
It's a nice little 4K. Yeah.
On Counter-Strike. Yeah. Let's
4 years ago, maybe.
4 years.
4 years ago. Yeah, it's a
little.
It
was uploaded 2 years ago. But,
yeah, I mean, it could be. I'm just trying to think back because at this point I was still playing competitively, not like top tier, but I was playing like with my local friends still in a competitive league. Okay. So I was still playing a lot of Counter-Strike at this point. So, but yeah, go ahead, man, hit it. Right, I know exactly where we're at with this. So yeah, this is a little. This is in what we call a pug. For those that don't know, it's just like a random 5v5 pickup game on Cash, which is a map that just got reworked. But yeah, so this is a little op round. So you saw me get the first guy in the squeak door. I'm playing defense right here. So
I didn't notice your avatar there.
Wait, which one? What are we talking about?
Your avatar on the top.
Oh, yeah, it's the Game of Thrones. Yeah, that's my follower. Man. Yeah, that's my follower. Yeah. So now I'm down to this is a 1v4. Actually, I think I aced this. Yeah, because I got the first kill in the squeak door. So this is down to a 1v4 now, a 1v3, and I'm trapped. The bomb is planted. I get the last guy in the middle. I know the last two are in sight.
You just knew that guy.
Smoke that dude. Yeah. It's a kind of a common spot, and I think I heard him. I mean, I don't have the sound going right now, but this guy I hear clear as day. So I juke a little footstep right there to get the guy to bait the guy out.
And timing though.
Yeah. So.
Wow.
So I did a little boost jump there, and then basically I faked a footstep on top of the crate to try and bait the guy out, and sure enough, it worked. So yeah, that's an old school pug clip.
Cool. So what's up with the so if there was like a left-handed, are you left-handed?
No, not even a little bit.
Why is it on the left side for Counter-Strike?
Yeah,
I mean, you probably do it for every FPS game, right?
I probably would if it was available. So funny story, the original version of Counter-Strike, and I say version, I mean we're talking beta. The beta for Counter-Strike only offered left-handed models. One of the developers was left-handed, and felt slighted that no games ever had the option for left-handed. So he put it as left hand only with no option for right hand. So everyone who played the beta of Counter-Strike up until I think like beta 7, which was like 2000, like late 2000, basically the first like year and a half of Counter-Strike only had left-handed models. And even when they added right-handed, most everybody stayed left because it was something you were used to. But yeah, eventually they added right-handed models, and they actually added the ability to have no model, but that ended up being banned from competitive.
No model?
Allow that. Yeah.
Wait, what does that mean?
Just your crosshair on the screen, like no gun model at all. So
immersed.
Yeah, it kind of, the reason it got banned was actually not even because of the model. It was because it left a big gap on your screen, so you had a better field of view, obviously. But people were using like a script, basically where they would have no model, they would reload, and when they hit reload, the model would reappear, so they could do like, there was tactical reloads, so you could do like the quick reload by having the model back on your screen for a second, and then it would disappear as soon as you would shoot again. So that kind of stuff got banned. But yeah, that's the long explanation for where left-handed models came from in Counter-Strike.
So you started your streaming on Counter-Strike. Do I understand that correctly? Or
pretty much. Like I retired from the original version of Counter-Strike when CS Source took over. I didn't really have any interest in Source. A lot of old pros like myself just either switched over or retired, so I took the retirement route. When I came back for CSGO, the first couple seasons I was playing serious, like playing how I used to, putting tons of time in. And
that's where the streaming started, right?
Yeah, because I had a lot of people requesting that I stream, matches or whatever. So I just would pop, like I didn't have a schedule. I just popped on, I streamed, for my match or whatever, maybe some, games afterwards or whatever, but I never had a set schedule. I never really followed any of the Twitch rules or whatever in terms of like, how to grow your channel. I had like maybe 10, 12 people asking me to, stream. And so I was like maybe averaging 20 viewers, like nothing crazy,
Gotcha.
And then eventually I just decided I didn't want to put 100 hours into a game anymore, 100 hours a week. It's just, at that point I was like 27 or 28, and I'm like, I don't want to do this all over again, man. So I started playing more casual competitive, like I said, with my local friends in some of the lower tier leagues. And then I started streaming more. That's when I started doing a schedule and, actually being on, and I was primarily playing Counter-Strike. So yeah, then that's kind of when I started to focus more on the streaming side of it than the competitive side of it.
So your teammates, did you take any of them with you to Battlefield? How did you discover that? Or not by yourself?
Not,
tried it?
Kind of, not really. There's a yes and no to that. So
okay,
excuse me. So I always played Battlefield when I came back to CSGO. I played Battlefield 3, I played Battlefield 4, Hardline even, and then Battlefield 1 as kind of like my off game, right? So when I wasn't playing Counter-Strike, which was still pretty rare because just the amount of time I was putting into the game. But when I wanted to break and play something different, I would go to Battlefield. At that point, I'd kind of given up on Call of Duty. I was all Call of Dutied out. And I had a blast with Bad Company 2 on console. So Battlefield 3 for me was a ton of fun. And a lot of my Counter-Strike friends played Battlefield with me because they would do the same thing. We would be like, all right, we're sick of CS. Let's jump over to Battlefield. So, I'd maybe play max 8 hours of Battlefield a week. It was nothing crazy. And the same went with Battlefield 1. When Battlefield 1 came out, me and my CS buddies were playing. We played together. Minimal amount of hours. But then when I, was playing a little bit more after I kind of relaxed on CS, one of my buddies was like, hey, it was one of my Counter-Strike friends. He's like, hey, why don't you start streaming Battlefield? He's like, you're nasty at the game. You're always, top fragging every time we play. You're doing ridiculous stuff. And he goes, they don't, there's not a big Twitch directory for it. You might do all right. So I kind of listened to his advice. I started streaming Battlefield 1 like August of 2019. So it would have been like August 2017, September 2017, somewhere around there. And it was kind of crazy. My channel took off right away.
Yeah, I have
within like a week, I was getting like 40, 50 viewers, man. It was crazy. So
I have a few clips for you from that era, I think.
Oh, okay. All right.
Here, check this out. This is from way back when, August 2018.
August 2018. Yeah. So this was actually my like return. Because I went from 2017, then like end of summer, right around now, August, September 2017, until January 2018. And then I was in a really nasty car accident. It put me on the shelf from like gaming in general for like 6 months. Because for those that don't know, including yourself, so I run my own business. So between the business and the rest of real life, and then the car accident and everything, I just had no time for anything, especially streaming. So I took a break from January until like June, the end of June. So June 2018, I came back and then started playing again. And I got to come back to the wonderful world of the freaking Ilya and the bipod MG update. And I was like, my brain is melting. But yeah, so at this point, this was my comeback story, so to speak. So yeah, go ahead, roll it up, and
this is a good one. I like
we'll
this.
Check it out, man.
Fucking leave the comment area if I want to.
Is this the Obras clip? Is this?
I think so.
I think I know this one. I think I start screaming crazy stuff like I'm the best player alive or something like that. Oh yeah, yep, I know exactly what this is.
Oh my god!
Yep.
Oh my god, I'm literally the best player alive.
Yeah, I don't have the audio on, but I'm definitely screaming some stuff right now for sure. And there's actually a clip of me watching this clip and reacting to it. Yeah. Because I used to just yell crazy stuff, man. Yeah. I was all amped up. Funny enough, I probably have crazier kill streaks now in Battlefield 5. I don't react like this anymore just because I'm like, most of the time when I'm streaming, I'm so tired that I'm just like,
man,
yeah,
hey, like, there's some good ones. There's some good ones of when you first start getting V1 rocket kills. I don't know if it was, I think it was this one here.
The M1, yeah, I know this one right.
The game like just released here.
This was literally the first week of the game.
It was the first week. Here, like, check it out. Here we go.
Yeah, this might have been the pre-release or whatever. I don't even know if that's gonna do anything. This
rocking the M1A1 ever since.
Yeah, dude. Well, that's like we came back from the beta and they freaking buffed this gun, and I'm like, what did they do to this? This is so much better. Oh my god!
Look how excited you are,
dude! I was in my mind like blew because I remember I said something in the clip. Again, I don't have the audio on, but I said something in the clip like, this isn't gonna do anything. I don't think this is gonna work. And then I dropped like 12 people at the V1, so I was super excited.
Yeah, everyone was, man. Back in those days, the V1 was we've never seen anything like it as like a call-in for Battlefield. And the amount of kills you got early on was just
because people were a lot more stacked up. People were a lot more stacked up, and I think that was I'm 90% sure that was
Conquest, right? No, it wasn't Conquest.
No, that was Breakthrough. It was actually Grand Ops. That was part of Grand Ops, if I remember correctly. So, but that was in the first like week or so. So that was before the game was full release. So that was the pre-order Origin Access players only.
Yeah, that's why.
Yeah, and I honestly miss those days because that was some fun, sweaty like 2 weeks that we got before the plebs came in, man. That was good stuff because it was only obviously that was people who spent the money on Origin Access, whatever Premiere, whatever one it was supposed to unlock early. So people were playing the objective. People were not like off lurking in the middle of nowhere. Yeah, man, it was good. It was good times. Those were some of the best Battlefield 5 games I had in the first 2 weeks.
What'd you think of the alpha for BF5?
Loved
You
it,
liked
loved it,
right?
dude. Dude, I was so hyped, man. I was
It
so
had a
hyped.
lot. It had a lot of drunk seas weapon models in there, or like statistics and whatnot.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
aiming,
man. Like it's
and that
the
was
way the alpha
really
played, I
different. Yeah.
absolutely loved it. Absolutely loved it, man. I was so hyped for Battlefield 5. And obviously, the state of the game isn't where any of us want it to be right now. I mean, we could go on and on about it, and I'm sure we'll talk about it at some
We
point.
will.
We can go on
We
and
will
on.
go on.
We can
and
go
on
on and on about it, but the alpha really, really was promising. And I mean, the second alpha I didn't have nearly as much fun with because they dialed the time to kill back. Obviously, the first alpha it was just as fast as it is right now.
But before we get to that though, sticking to the alpha and gunplay, did you see, like, because you come from a competitive background, did you see comp in Battlefield in the alpha just by how the guns were?
100%, 100%. And that was something I talked about on stream at the time. The way the gunplay, I had heard the whispers and the rumors, as to why they were doing incursions originally in BF1.
Did you play that?
Yeah, it was awful. It was some of the worst Battlefield I've ever seen in my life. So as to why they were doing incursions the way they were for BF1 like that, and the possible carryover to BF5, and then obviously with Drunk Z and Rulla's input and them consulting with former competitive Battlefield players, it felt awesome, man. It was about as close to Counter-Strike style gunplay as I've seen in a Battlefield game before.
The guns
dude, it was so good, man.
The guns
it was so good.
Like the alpha. Oh man, I was like,
the way the movement worked with the guns and the way they to recoil patterns instead of weapon spread was fantastic. They moved the spread portion over to a penalty, so you only enabled spread if you were moving or jumping or doing something you weren't supposed to be doing when you were shooting, which was fantastic. So the fact that I could shoot like the STG, like an AK-47 from Counter-Strike, and have the bullets go where I expected them to go, dude, I almost couldn't go back to Battlefield 1 after the first alpha. I was like, I don't know how I'm going to play this, man. I don't know how I'm going to, like, when you go back to Battlefield 1, you go to shoot your gun, and like the bullet, the 7 times that you shoot one bullet, every time it goes somewhere different, I'm like, I'm going to have a breakdown, So
when did you notice, oh my God, they're going the wrong direction? Was it the beta or was it released?
No, actually, the beta, I had even more fun than the alpha. The beta felt great. I had a blast with the beta. There were some parts of the beta that needed to be touched on. There were some time to death issues and things like that. Noticed a little bit more netcode related stuff. I think that was because at that point they had stopped using the BF1 infrastructure and started using the Amazon Web Services to test that out. So it noticeably ran better from a netcode perspective on the BF1 infrastructure in the alpha. But the servers were hurting. Like we had, I don't know if you remember it, but like in Airborne, like you couldn't play for like the first 2 minutes of Airborne while the planes were dropping people because it was lagging so bad. But the beta, there were no server issues, but they had moved over to the AWS backend, which is what we're on now. So we saw more netcode stuff like dying around the corner, the time to death, like insta kills. They weren't nearly as bad as they are now. So I was a little concerned about that part of it. But as far as the gameplay and the gunplay goes, I loved it, man. Everything felt great. I was still feeling pretty comfortable. I liked the new weapons that they introduced. The M1 I used a ton. The M1 was probably my most used gun. That and the Irma
was a dream.
Yeah, the M1 and the Irma were my 2 most used guns in the beta, and so going from the beta into the main game, I felt great. Even the first 2 weeks of the main game, man. Like I said, with the early access player base, I didn't think we'd end up where we are right now.
Oh my God! We'll talk about the player base in a second, but if all y'all join in here, Coming on
What's
in,
up, guys?
Daddy Drip Drips. Oh, we got someone better. Here we go. Tyrium, last
My
minute.
man.
Coming on in. Thank you so much for joining. Yeah, Daddy Drip Drips is he's a sick boy. He got the flu like I did. I think maybe a couple days ago. I don't know if he was at the doctor's the whole time, but last minute he had to cancel. Yeah, might be. So we got Tyrium, and again, thank you so much for coming on at such short notice. But yeah, welcome guys. We'll be doing a Q&A section like we did last time with Zariana Plays. And that was great. So if you guys have any questions, go ahead, put them in here, and yeah, we'll try to answer them. T-Cheddar, what's up, dude? Where's Daddy Drip Drips? God damn it!
Yeah, sorry, I haven't got the chance to say hi to everybody. I see Rad has it in there. I see Knight. I see Hecka. I see Ali, obviously. Train Cheddar, El Pear, Tron, Martizi,
Tron, man.
Raggedy, Pepper. Oh my god, dude. If you ever bring It's Dictatorship on this show, I defriend you immediately. I'm pretty sure he's banned anyway.
Tell me about this guy. I don't know. I think he was a person.
Dude, wait, you never. Oh, you didn't really play Operations. You didn't play Operations in BF1.
Not much. No.
In BF1, so there were tons of cheeseball kids. It kind of became a running joke in my channel, in my stream. There were tons of cheeseball kids in Battlefield 1, obviously, with, forgetting the metas and whatever that we have now, 5. Obviously, Battlefield 1 was a breeding ground for cheese, man, with the RD truck and the, like, self-repair tanks that had 6 seats in them and, people like Raggedy Man who bring, like, 19 of their platoon members into servers to fucking run every vehicle possible with dedicated reps and stuff like that. So, so anyway, this It's Dictatorship guy used to run a Shimon, like fully loaded. He would like camp the hill and like just farm kills. Like he would go for like the good old like 115-0 like KD scores and stuff like that. He only played offense and he always camped in spawn, so you couldn't go get him. He was super cheeseball, and if there were times where he couldn't get tank, he played recon. He kind of played like the big boss guy, like as far away from the action as possible, using something that he couldn't be killed in. And when he could be infantry, he played sniper, and he was so bad, dude. His aim was the worst thing on planet Earth. So I used to, me, Julian. The guys in chat know me. I'm a ball buster. I love talking trash. It's one of my favorite parts of gaming. One of my favorite parts of anything. I mean, if we're playing Monopoly, dude, I'm talking trash. You know what I'm saying? So, but yeah, so I used to talk trash to this dude all the time, and he literally hates my existence. Like, he's one of those people that I got to. So then that meant I had to do it more, and every single time I saw him. So, yeah. So
I'm
anyway,
trying to look for that clip of you using the Villar Perosa, but it's
buried.
Is it this one here? I don't know.
Dude, hang on. I might be able to find it.
Who did I kill?
Dude, I mowed down literally like 12 people in an instant. This one, I don't even know.
Oh my god, the crossbow.
Dude, the crossbow.
I never understand. Anytime I'm in a tank and I try, and it's never an often thing, but whenever I'm in one of the gunner spots of a tank, like even if it's for 2 seconds so I can use it as a tactic.
Dude,
precious doggos. Well, how many are there? Oh my, and you got
dude, I got too, 4, right? Bro. I got 4, man.
Oh my god, you gotta send me some pictures. Of
Raggedy, you did get Darwined out. Raggedy.
Hey, Val,
that used to be one of my sayings. I used to talk about how people were going to be Darwined out of Battlefield 5 because of the gunplay.
Shimon Pro and BF1. Oh my god. My question.
Villa Perosa OP. Here we go. I got it. Let me
DM
this to you real quick.
My question is why Tyrium is so bad from Tron.
Tron, listen, dude. Anytime you want lessons, man, you let me know. I'll give you a discount. I'll give you a BFF discount. All right.
Yeah, Pepper Rabbit. Why do you love me the most?
Why do I love you the most? It's probably your name. I think that's what made me fall in love with you, your name. Because it makes no sense, and I don't know what it means, but it seems super cute. Like if I saw a picture and somebody was like, "This is a pepper rabbit," I feel like I'd be, "Aw,"
And well, let's look at. You send the clip? Oh, here it is. Okay.
Yeah, I just DM'd it to you. Yeah.
All right. Let's see. It's just a little.
Oh my god!
A little zoomed in. Probably don't see your face, but.
Dude, I just walked in that room and literally mowed down, I think, 7 or 8 people. I can't remember how many it is, but
oh my god!
The gun is so stupid. Like, why? This had to be like a DICE bring your kid to work day, where they came up with this kind of shit. Like that and the mustard gas. Like somebody brought like their 11-year-old kid into DICE and was like, "Dad, we're learning about mustard gas in World War I," and he's like, "You know what? That sounds like a great idea. Let's put it in the game. And then we'll make everyone wear this tactical gas mask where they can't aim down the sight and their vision's blurred. It'll be great." Like same thing that ended up with this being a gun in the game. Like,
thank God I don't have to press G or all the time for. Oh my God! Did you have like a shortcut? Was G your gas mask or did you end up?
I had it. I think it's T. I think I even at some point I think I bounced. I think I got so frustrated that I had it as like
T,
scroll
right?
wheel or
something.
T.
It was T. It was T.
It was T by default, but I'm 99% sure I changed it to my mouse because I got so frustrated with how much gas spam there was, especially when the DLC started coming out and some of the maps like Fort de Vaux or what was the other French one that everything was on fire?
The ones
hills, Verdun Heights. Verdun, okay. So there was a part of Verdun on breakthrough operations, whatever, that was in like bunkers, and people would just spam the gas, and it would be above you and coming through the floor, so you had to wear the gas mask. It was one of the dumbest mechanics of all time.
I thought they tried to fix that with the gas not going through walls.
If they did, they failed. Whoever they gave that job to, I hope they don't work there anymore because they didn't do a good job of fixing it at all.
I mean, I've seen so many like test renderings of like gas stuff or like liquid being trapped in like a cube. Like if you can actually code that, why can't you figure that out in a 3D space?
It didn't. The worst part was it didn't visibly come through. Right. So why did the damage come? Because I'd be getting shot, and I'm like, oh shit, let me jump into this corner.
Yeah, maybe that's what it was.
Get into this corner, and then all of a sudden, like I'm dying, and I'm like, what am I dying from? Oh, there's gas above me, And then that was the best, like when the camera like zoomed up to figure out like it was like some dude like on like a mortar, like he's doing the mortar gas, and he like launched it. I'm like, what did I like? Is this real life? So
looks like El Pair wants that mouse pad you have in the background. Man, he's selling them, dude.
The Tyrium Factor mouse pads. I think I went in the wrong direction with my chair. The Tyrium Factor mouse pads still available. Still available. So if anybody wants them, you can DM me. I'll be happy to sell you one. Or I might include one with a giveaway soon. So
I saw a old clip of you, and in the background there seemed to be a massive graveyard or collection of mice.
Tell me it was mice. Yeah. So if there's a mouse,
where is it?
If there's you can name a mouse, and I probably have it, which is kind of funny.
Did you buy to try, or do you buy and you actually play the shit out of all of them?
No, I definitely some of those probably got 2 minutes of use. So there's probably if you figure mice are like $70 average, because some of them are 50 and some of them are like $120 or whatever.
So why not return them,
bro? Maybe I get bored one day. I don't know.
You're a collector, okay? Admit it. You're just a collector.
Yeah. So it's hard, dude, because back in the day, it's funny. Back in the day, I only used a couple mice. There weren't many gaming mice. Microsoft had a lock on the market pretty much until Razer came around, and then Logitech was quick to follow. But I mean, I used the IntelliMouse 1.1 for anybody that knows what that is for forever, and then I switched to the IntelliMouse 3.0 because they were dialing back on the 1.1, and the 3.0 for anybody that doesn't know was their ergonomic version, like this big ass, think like Zoe EC1, or for anybody that uses a Death Adder. It's like twice the size of a Death Adder. So it was this huge.
Oh my god.
Yeah, it was ginormous. There was this huge ergonomic mouse, but they were always awesome.
Man, as big as like a trackball mouse.
It was huge. But I mean, look at I got big ass hands, man. Look at this.
Oh man, they look so small on the screen.
So, dude, I got big hands, man. I got first world problems. So,
oh, man.
After they stopped making the Microsoft mice, I switched over to the MX518 from Logitech, which was like at the time like a prototype mouse. They weren't even selling them yet. I got it from a sponsor.
Oh,
yeah, dude. So I got it from a sponsor. It wasn't even out yet, and I switched over to it because Microsoft wasn't making mice anymore, dude. And I used to break mice like it was going out of style. I used to smash them shits on my desk in pure rage. So I always needed like 7 backups. Yeah, so I only used like 3 mice for my entire gaming career. So when I came back to gaming, there were like 4,000 mice and none of them felt comfortable. So I'm like, I'm just gonna keep trying mice until I find one I like. And
did
probably the most.
Did you say how many final mice you have?
I have one final mouse, the ultralight sunset right here. It's the mouse I've been using lately. So that's that mouse and the Logitech G502 are like the only 2 mice I'm like 100% comfortable with.
My first mouse was a Microsoft one, and I think it's one of the ones you were talking about. It's
had to be the Intel mouse. Had to be the Intel mouse.
Yeah.
Because if you're using any other Microsoft mouse, you were using like some crap, and that not good.
I got it at Best Buy. It was around when Battlefield
had to be an Intel mouse then. Had to be.
Yeah,
There's no way
it was around Battlefield 2 time, so I'm talking like 2006, maybe 2005.
Was it ergonomic?
I think so. Yeah, it was pretty fancy.
So
it was like silver.
Yeah, so I bet you it was the Intel Mouse 4.0, which was one that they came out with like towards the end of their gaming mice ordeal. It was pretty garbo. It had a decent sensor. Yeah, they had a problem with hertz. Like the mouse hertz were some bootleg setup, and it like didn't respond well to games, so they used to cause like massive screen tearing.
Yeah, right after that I went straight to Razer. Once I went back to Best Buy to go buy a mouse.
Dude, I tried Razer, man. Like Razer was garbage back in the day. So they came out, as like a competitor to Microsoft with gaming mice, and they were awful way back when. So when I came back, I stayed away from them. I tried the Death Adder. I couldn't do it. The Death Adder's got, I don't know how anybody uses that thing. It's got some weird like flare on the right hand side.
I didn't go with the Death Adder. I didn't go.
I think you gotta have like little midget hands to use the Death Adder. Like you gotta have like some kind of like little like clown hands or something. Little
clown
circus hands. Yeah. You gotta be like a carny. You gotta be a carny to use a Death Adder.
Yeah. Definitely, Enders would definitely not use it.
Does Enders use a Death Adder? I thought Enders uses like an EC. Enders, you got cabbage? Do you smell like cabbage?
I think you smell like cabbage.
You got tiny hands, smell like cabbage? You a carny? Using the Death Adder.
Where did Battlefield 5 go wrong, Tyrium?
Where
was the beginning point?
Where did it go wrong? What was the beginning point? I think some of the things that like we
release.
Release. That first 2 weeks, man, was so good. I seriously, I missed before it got released to the general population. I really, really felt like we were in a good place.
Yeah.
Because I feel like that again, the first 2 weeks, it was people who knew how to play the game, who knew like what to do without
player base was huge.
Yeah,
thing,
like
it really was.
So I think part of the problem is we've gone too far in different directions, right? So if you follow Battlefield from like Bad Company 2 to Battlefield 1, you see that they made every Battlefield game a little bit easier, right?
Yeah,
so I think there were a lot of general complaints. There were a lot of general complaints about the difficulty of Battlefield, right? So you go from Bad Company 2, which was not dissimilar from Battlefield 5 in terms of how the game played and the difficulty of it. Battlefield 3, still a very difficult game, but they started adding things, to make it a little bit easier for the average player. They started switching classes around and adding like sniper glint, so people weren't hiding everywhere. With sniper rifles and things like that. But every game they made it a little bit easier until we got to Battlefield 1, which was far and away. And this isn't. I know there's probably tons of people in the chat who love Battlefield 1. Okay. I'm not hating on you. All right. Let me get that out of the way. I played a lot of Battlefield 1. I had more hours in it than Battlefield 5. It was a dog shit first-person shooter, man. It's one of the worst first-person shooters I've ever played in my entire life. From a first-person shooter mechanic, the game was fun, but from an FPS standpoint, it was awful, man. It was awful. And they made it was like an affirmative action version of a first-person shooter. They're like, everybody needs to do well. Like it was for the casuals, man. It was like playing a really fucked up version of Call of Duty, dude. It was like they scooped up the people that Call of Duty didn't want on their dev team anymore. It was like the janitors from Infinity Ward, and they brought them into DICE, and they were like, we want you guys Call of Duty the shit out of this Battlefield game. So I think
remember that trailer? That trailer was called.
Dude, that trailer was hyped, man. I was so stoked for Battlefield 1 because that trailer was dope as hell, man. When it ended, dude, the Seven Nation Army song, when it ended with the blimp and everything, man, I was like, holy shit, it's crazy. And then all of a sudden, I'm playing the beta, and I'm getting mowed down by mutant horses that take 7,000 shots to kill.
Horses, yeah.
So the beta, of BF1, I was a little concerned, but it had phenomenal marketing. It was a fun game, but from a first-person shooter standpoint, it was really bad. It had a lot of mechanics that were super easy for everybody to understand. The SMG class, the assault class, dude. You could hip fire somebody with an SMG from 80 meters and hit them with every bullet. Like it, there's things that made no sense.
I wanted to show you something. There was something I kept. I was gonna show on Daddy Drip Drip if he was here.
Okay.
It was so bonkers how like easy it was. Like you were saying, he literally put his mouse to his cheek and said that he would get a kill with the SMG.
Dude, please show it because I
have to find it. It's on here somewhere.
I believe it. I got downvoted on Reddit, like a gajillion downvotes for calling the SMG08 too easy. Where I posted a clip. We were playing Monte Grappa Operations. It was the last sector, which if you ever played it, was like the fort at the end of Monte Grappa. And it was a single flag, just absolute meat grinder chaos. And I run out of a doorway and just mow 9 people down with the SMG08 immediately before anybody has a chance to even react. And everyone's like, "That's working as intended." And I'm like, "Please kill yourselves! Like this is insane."
I think this is it here.
All right.
Yeah, this is it right here.
6,400 DPI.
How they changed this gun from what it was to the nonsense it became.
Got a kill.
Boom. Look at that, dude.
This game's tough.
There's no aiming involved. He just
game's
clicks.
skill-based.
I mean, that was. They made BF1 so ROF.
Might involve me scrolling.
If you had a gun like the Automatico or the SMG08. You just won, dude. It didn't matter where you aimed. You could aim at feet, and you were gonna win the gunfight. Like it was nonsense. So I think getting back to the original question, they made BF1 so easy that when they got to Battlefield 5, and we talked about the alpha and the great parts about the alpha. At that point there were no bipod MGs in the alpha. There really weren't any in the beta. So we hadn't had a flavor for the cheese yet. There's always going to be cheese, no matter how much you make.
There has to be.
Yeah,
cheese.
No matter how much you make a game centered towards a certain part of the community. If you want to say the competitive side, I mean, even Counter-Strike, dude. Counter-Strike has cheese, but a lot of that stuff gets banned from competitive use and things like that. So, so there's always going to be cheese in the game, and people are always going to find ways to find it, and exploit it and whatever. And I think that. The part of Battlefield 5 where they were like, you know what, we have to throw something in there for the casuals. And obviously, the thing that they latched onto was the easiest thing to find, which was a 1200 RPM gun that they could just go bipod with. And then really the biggest issue ends up being the visibility. Like, you know, whatever asshole over there was like, let's put TAA forced on. Like, that dude needs to get nut punched for the rest of his life. Like, every day there needs to be a chair he sits in where, like, for an hour straight, he just gets walloped in the balls for coming up with that idea. Because why TAA got forced on is beyond me. It makes the game look better. Pretty. No, it doesn't, though. That's the thing. It doesn't actually look better. If the goal was to make it look better, it was a horrible, horrible goal, and they failed at that on top of failing on the visibility portion. So, yeah, I mean, you throw in these bipod MGs, and they're so easy for people to use. And for certain levels of player, it's not difficult to deal with. Like, I don't have a huge problem with it. Like, 9 times out of 10, I can win a gunfight even against an insane MMG because this game definitely focuses a little bit more on aim and less on the ROF. So if you have good aim, you can win a gunfight even with a shitty gun, right? I think Enders has talked about it before. Like, you know, there's no best gun in the game per se because of the way the weapon mechanics work. You can make any gun work for you. A lot of things are more situational versus BF1. But I think when you throw in the piece that they put in for casuals, in addition to the fact that assignments, why did they make assignments that require you to play like an asshole? You know what I mean? Like,
because the person who made them doesn't play this game.
Yeah.
He just said, oh, that would be hard because that's what the computer told me.
So I think it ends. I don't think that there's one specific thing that made it go wrong with Battlefield 5. I think if you take the MG portion of it, and the fact that that's the easiest thing for players to use, the fact that the map design in general feels very, very shoddy. It feels, to segue a little bit again, if you go back and play 3 Rush, right? It feels like the maps.
Bad Company?
Or Bad Company 2, yeah. So I said Battlefield 3, but so if you play Battlefield 3 Rush, it feels like the maps were literally designed with Rush in mind. It felt like whoever designed the maps was like, this is how we're going to do it for Rush. And then some of the maps don't play as well on Conquest because it's perhaps an afterthought, you know. But then Battlefield 4 feels the same way, right? Except in reverse. Sorry. So Battlefield 4, Rush was like not dog shit, but it was pretty rough. If you went and go play Conquest, it was 100 times more enjoyable. You know, eventually they fixed Rush and BF4 with some of the changes, but
they had to really fix Rush and BF4.
Yeah, but you could tell, the point being, you could tell that they focused on a particular game mode when they built the map, right? In Battlefield 5, I don't know what they did. I don't know if they did just for like
everything. They made a map for literally everything because
that's what I mean. Like, did they just make the map first and then like literally? So we'll use the clip that you have up as an example, right? Did they take a scenario like this and just make a big map that we see right now and then decide they were just going to put random shit in parts of the map, you know? And like Devastation is one of the few maps that I actually enjoy in Battlefield 5. It's not a perfect map. It's got problems, but I like the flow of the map. I like the fact that it's generally got no vehicles unless somebody calls one in. But like on Breakthrough, what asshole put the spawn for offense 3 meters away from the defensive flag? And then the second flag is like a mile and a half down the road. You have to run by the line of sight for the defense to even get there. Like, that design choice makes no sense at all, you know? It just, so you throw in the map design, you throw in the cheesy, you know, focus for MGs towards casual players, and then the bad visibility, and that equates to a lot of the things that we see. I mean, the other stuff that people complain about all the time is honestly stuff that we see in every Battlefield game.
Well, here's something
the mass recon.
Here's one thing that we don't see eye to eye on. I don't know what kind of wizard magic audio setup you have, but I do not agree with you for nothing when you say, "Oh, audio's fine," you stupid idiots, like on Twitter.
No.
Let's clarify. Terrible in this game, okay?
I don't by any means say audio is perfect in this game. I mean, there's plenty of times where I straight up don't hear footsteps. A lot of times I think.
Oh, you admit it. Oh my god.
a lot of times I think I play so aggressively that I don't hear the footsteps because I'm not really like looking for them, because I'm like not in a spot where I give a shit about somebody coming behind me. You know what I mean? Like you have a good examples right here. Like even if there was somebody approaching me, I would have no freaking idea. I'm literally running around shooting. So
here's one thing a lot of people don't understand. The gunfire in this game is really loud.
It's really intrusive, dude. And when you use certain weapons, it's no Sturmgewehr is actually a good example. This gun is so loud. Like when you shoot it, you can't hear anything else happening around you.
No,
and it's just like
this is nothing but bass, like the whole time.
Well,
and
so
people
with my audio setup, all right, my audio setup, I have bass turned off. Like I literally have no bass in the game at all for that reason.
I hear you.
And that's even going back to Counter-Strike. Like certain guns are so bassy that if they went off, you wouldn't hear footsteps in Counter-Strike because that gun was going off. Like if somebody was spamming a gun, the bass alone would kill the footsteps, right? So I use my Logitech software to basically disable bass entirely. I turn the mids and the trebles up really high. And I keep 7.1 on, and I use surround sound in game so that I benefit from that. So that assuming I'm not absolutely surrounded by like death and destruction, I usually hear footsteps. And actually, when they did that footstep volume increase, I thought I was going to go deaf from how much I was hearing the footsteps.
Hear you. It wasn't just it's loud. It was inconsistent, and dude, it was just picking up everything from across.
Yeah, I remember Devastation. I'd be playing Devastation, like the front lines portion of Devastation in Grand Ops, and somebody would be like flanking the church at the same time somebody was coming in the front entrance, and I'm like, I can't hear anything but footsteps. It's two people. Like, get it off my ears. So
it was not a good. It was we were looking for something like that. It
has to do with the audio channels in the game. Somebody jacked up the way the audio channels work in the game, but honestly, a big portion of it is the netcode, man. If they fixed the netcode in the game, the audio would be 100 times better. I can tell you for sure, because there's sounds that just don't play because the netcode is so bad.
I hope there's an initiative. If they're making a new Battlefield game right now, that needs to be something they look at first. Because it seems like something they can't fix in this.
And you know what? A big problem is the fact that beyond the fact that we don't have a CTE, right? We have absolutely no CTE.
They'll never come too,
and it'll never happen, right? Fair enough. Whatever they want to do things that way, that's on them. But the issue is where they play test this stuff is not where we play, right? So we're playing. We talked about it before. We're on Amazon Web Services for the server hosting. Okay. So for anybody that doesn't know what Amazon Web Services is, just like Microsoft Azure, it's third-party hosting, right? So Amazon hosts virtual servers that run Battlefield backend that we connect to, okay? And the reason they do that is because it's scalable and it doesn't cost them as much money as them buying a whole bunch of physical servers that they throw in a bunch of data centers around the country that they have to then upgrade from a hardware perspective, et cetera. Right. Mm-hmm. So the problem is the testing that they do is not on AWS. So when
it's on
their own internal setup, which would be fine if that was what we got for BF5 as well. So for Battlefield 1, it was physical servers in data centers, which would be where they ran their tests. So it was the same environment that we played on.
That's what they've been struggling
that they tested on. And when they test shit, they obviously test it and they're like, oh yeah, everything's great. Then they roll it out to the back end on AWS, and then they release it, and it's like all of a sudden everything's broken, and it's like
But it befuddled them. A lot of the devs kept tweeting we just cannot figure this.
We don't know what it is, and it's in part because they don't have that same server control, right? So they can upload the backend patch or whatever, to the Battlefield backend running. I'm sure it's on Linux, right? So they can not to get too nerdy, but they can load it up onto the backend. But they don't really have control. I mean, they're running it as a service. It's not like it's a full bore server that they have access to and they can do whatever they want with, So, the way they do stuff is really ass backwards, and it doesn't seem like. I feel bad for a lot of the devs because they're just doing their job. They're doing what they're told. I mean, this is kind of standard big business practice. You have a whole bunch of dudes in charge that don't know their audience. They don't know their product. And they're there because they're there because they're salespeople. Or even worse, they're not even salespeople. They're people that care about numbers. It's a bunch of mathematicians. It's a bunch of CFOs. It's a bunch of former CFOs. And that's I don't think Battlefield 5 was ready to be released when it was. I think the game, obviously I have no confirmation on this. This is my speculation. Let me preface that. But I am 99% sure that they were not ready to release Battlefield 5 even in November.
No way.
I think they asked to push it back.
What about now? Releasing it now at this point, would that have been okay? But
I think even when Firestorm dropped, what was that, February? When did Firestorm drop? February of this year? So. Something along those lines. So I think that if they could have pushed it back to that point, it would have been a night and day difference. And I think they wanted to be honest. I don't think they wanted to drop Firestorm separately either. So that's what leads me to believe they wanted to go back probably to that point. But the problem is they told EA we were going to drop BF5 in 2018. And I think EA said, okay, we're going to project a $15 million. And again, I'm just making this number up. I have no idea what the actual number, but we're going to project $15 million of revenue from Battlefield for this year. Okay. So that goes on their sheet, right? That goes to their investors. That goes towards the futures. So now they have this revenue that they're guaranteeing that they're going to get, right? Or speculating that they're going to get, right? $15 million. And all of a sudden, DICE is like, listen, we got to push this back. And they're like, well, you can't push it back outside of 2018 because even if the game fails, and let's say the failure is $7 million, which is half, right? Which would definitely be a failure if they sold half. That's $7 million that they get, which is $7 million they wouldn't get in 2018 if they pushed it back to 2019, right? So you got to look at it. EA, their standpoint is we're going to make $7 million instead of zero. Okay, so it doesn't matter that the game is going to flop because they're just going to blame it on DICE anyway or whoever. Somebody's going to get fired.
Do you think because of that they are not going to continue? They're not going to continue supporting this game within the next few months. Do you think they're actually moving on to another game?
I think that the evidence is there. I think.
It just I think. Sense.
Well, so I think that it's going to be a different studio, right? Maybe DICE LA, which they. Similar to the Call of Duty.
To continue in Battlefield?
Whoa, you're saying that they don't think they're going to do it? Confused by the question.
You cut out there? Say again?
Are you saying that they're not going to do another Battlefield game in general?
No, I said...
Because I would think DICE LA does Battlefield 5 instead of DICE Stockholm, right?
Well, so, what are they going to do?
I'm sorry, not Battlefield 5. Not Battlefield 5.
Oh, okay.
DICE LA do the next Battlefield game instead of DICE Stockholm, is what I'm saying.
So DICE Stockholm will be continuing supporting BF5 over the next year, and then DICE LA is making the new Battlefield.
Pretty much. I wouldn't be surprised if we've seen, in my opinion, we've seen it dialed back up a ton. And I saw Rad Hazard mention that they brought in DICE LA to help out with some stuff.
Yeah.
And I think that's in part because they aren't staffed well at Stockholm.
I agree with Rad Hazard on that. Stockholm puts the games out, LA cleans them up.
I mean that's kind of what it seems like at this point. I think
because they did a good job. Some of
the stuff we've seen from LA. Again, I don't know if that was part of Metro, but I mean, literally, we only have one map that I'd call good in Battlefield 5, and that's literally the map that just came out a week ago in Metro.
What's interesting about the Operation Underground, dude, the more you play it, the more it feels like a better version of
the original really is.
Metro, which is
and now
crazy
granted,
because there's a lot of dead space in the original Metro, even in the Battlefield 4 Metro there's still the outside that was boring as hell, and like
So I think part of it though is not even they moved it more to like a 3-lane design, which is awesome. I love 3-lane maps. I wish every map was like a 3-lane map.
It's not a static 3-lane. There's a lot of it.
No, yeah,
small ways getting around.
Which a lot of people think 3 lanes is literally just 3 straight fucking lines that are consistent of choke points.
League of Legends.
Yeah, no, 3-lane map is something that Counter-Strike used forever, which is a left, right, and a mid. But those things interconnect. So you have shortcuts, right? Mm-hmm. Choke points that connect the different areas that you can use to flank or, set up fakes in Counter-Strike's case or whatever. But Metro is Operation Underground is a 3-lane map, but it's really well done. The way they put the cover into the map, like I said it a million times on stream, it's the most thoughtful design of a Battlefield map or Battlefield 5 map we've ever seen. It like where the smallest things are put into place makes such a difference. Whether it's cover or using it to boost up and like ledge grab or whatever. Like it's the first time we've gotten a map that feels like it's thoughtfully done. And I think one of the reasons that it feels better than BF3 or BF4, it's not even so much the change in space. It's honestly the fact that one of the best things about Battlefield 5 is a lack of explosive spam. Obviously people get annoyed with the Piat and the Panzer, and that kind of stuff. But they don't reload right away. You don't get the ammo back unless somebody's dropping the crate. You only get 1 back even then. But the fact that there's not 400 grenades flying at you
that go off
on a consistent basis, like, dude, I try to get up the damn stairs in BF3 or BF4 because I've actually been playing a bunch of BF3 lately. And when it gets to Metro, man, when I'm playing Rush and I'm trying to get up the damn stairs, like I literally have to just pray. I try to find a gap in the nades and try to bunny hop up into like the side hallway and hope I can ice the guy prone on the ground. You know what I mean? To get through. So it's 100 times more enjoyable in BF5 because of the lack of explosive spam. I think that's one of the big positives of BF5 is the lack of explosive spam. So
I thought that's what Battlefield as a whole was going to be like. A little more infantry focus, but they wanted to mix it up quite a bit. They wanted to make sure everyone had the whole Battlefield experience.
You're talking about Battlefield 5 in general?
In general, yeah, BF5.
Okay. Yep.
So it looks like they use computer models to make sure everyone has that Battlefield experience, whether you like planes or tanks or anything like that. And
sorry, I'm just turning my ringer off.
And no problem.
I don't know who that was texting me. Who's texting me?
It's Rad Hazard, god damn it. But
oh no. Somebody wishing me happy birthday, that's all.
Yeah. Speaking of that, happy birthday.
Somebody's right on top of that one.
Feels birthday,
1201.
man.
And it's one of my best friend's wives, so that's super random that she texts me happy birthday at 1201. But
happy birthday, Tyrium. If anyone's left in here, Feels birthday, man.
Thanks, boys. Appreciate it. I'm old as shit today. Old as shit.
All right.
October 13th.
Let's move on to a different topic here.
All right.
So, okay. What do you think about it's not entirely different. It's still Battlefield related, but the Pacific content. Do you think it is gonna be something on the level of map design and Force, kind of like what's the Force map in BF1? Argonne? Do you think it's gonna be anything like that at all? Or
oh god, man, I loved Argonne, so I would love if it was. I don't keep any hopes anymore, man. I don't like. I'm cautious. I'm always cautiously optimistic, and that's got nothing to do specifically with Battlefield 5. It just has to do with the bullshit in general. It's the same thing with Modern Warfare. I stay cautiously optimistic with everything. I'd love to see it do well because I don't like to be negative all the time. You know what I mean? Like Battlefield 5, very frustrating. There's plenty of things I don't like about it. I try to focus on the positive stuff. I try to just play. There's times I get mad, but I try to just, obviously I enjoy playing the game. If I didn't enjoy playing it, I wouldn't play it, but in terms of the Pacific, I don't know what, like we've got 2 maps that are identical Panzer Storm and Al Shitdan or whatever the hell the name of that map is.
Shitdan. Yeah.
Two of the worst maps I've ever seen in my life. They're so bad. Like there's just you're running out in the open, and at least in Battlefield 1 had plenty of open maps.
Yeah.
But they had trenches, dude. They had things that we could like, even if you didn't want to be a sniper, you could play assault or whatever, SMG, something, and you're fighting in the trench so that you have some cover, and then every class had smoke grenades. So if you really wanted to, if you really wanted to push out of that area, you just use the freaking smokes and you move, and now because we only have smokes on medic, and you're not, you don't have the cover to dip in and out of. So the problem is like on Panzer Storm Breakthrough, that first sector, you're freaking trying to run from spawn down a hill in the open with tanks and MGs and like mounted guns everywhere, right? So you're trying to run through that first sector and you have no cover. So you got to use all your smokes in like 5 seconds. Otherwise you're going to get blasted, So if we don't see maps like that in the Pacific, I think it'll do okay. I'm not saying it has to be like...
There's no way there's going to be Al Sudan size maps on freaking...
Where did they even come up with this map? You know what I mean?
Like,
what is it? So I don't play single player, so that tells you how much I know. I had no idea that this was something recycled on a single player.
It is, yeah. Someone explained that. I mean, there's a few missions within this map.
I would love to see something like Argonne. My only concern, even with that, my only concern with something like that is the visibility, dude, and the fact that every time they release a goddamn map that has bushes and trees, they're all bulletproof. I mean, look at Merida and Mercury. There's still trees and bushes in Merida and Mercury that you cannot shoot through. Yeah. Even if you're the one hiding in it, you can't shoot out of it.
It looks like their default is metal, like you can't shoot through it.
Everything is
metal. It looks like someone goes through each and every bush that they put on there and undoes the hitbox or whatever it is.
And why are the bushes so goofy? Like they don't have branches. Exactly. They're just floating leaves.
So it's like goofy.
It's
even the trees.
From like a proportion standpoint, they don't make any sense, Like it doesn't. I don't know. Something with the bushes doesn't work right. They stick out too far, and then they're bulletproof. So
it's something.
Yeah, the Pacific, dude. I don't know, man. I think one of the reasons Metro worked so well was because it was urban. There was no bushes and trees and shit like that. Like we didn't have. Dude, the only bushes were the ones right outside that last sector on Breakthrough, the one outside the building. Like, and those bushes didn't have leaves. They were just like bushes you could jump on top of. They were like solid physical things, You couldn't hide in them. You could hide on top of them, but not in them.
What about a Battlefield game? Okay, look. Okay, this is the rumors are at DICE LA is making a new Bad Company game, right? That's the rumor.
Bad Company 3, I heard, yeah.
It's probably not true, but we don't know for sure. But if they are, what if they just went with an infantry-focused Bad Company game where it's all, it's modern. It's somewhat modern, like a weird made-up stuff, but you have your AKs, you have your M4s, all that good stuff, and there's a lot of city maps. I
so
feel
Hardline.
Like that.
You want Hardline 2 is what you want.
You
just literally described
that specific.
You just literally to a T described Hardline. Like far out. That was Hardline.
Hardline was awful.
You're like you're like M4 AK in a city, no vehicles. That's literally Hardline, dude. You literally just described
Hardline was bad because they didn't have content for it.
Get out of my podcast. I'm taking over. Hardline was bad. Hardline was one of the best Battlefield games that ever released, dude. Granted, maybe they shouldn't have gone with a Battlefield title on it. They should have just called it Hardline, or something. It was bad. You're trying to sell it to a community of people who I'm concerned that they have a hard time finding their way to work every day. You know what I mean?
It was
the majority of the Battlefield community. I am I wake up every day and I hope that they don't procreate, because if they have kids, I feel like I should call DCF, because the way they play the game doesn't bode well for function in the rest of the real world. But going back to your original question, Bad Company 3, here's the thing. If they go a couple points here. Number one,
not cops and robbers. I'm talking about actual.
Yeah. No, I understand. I had to laugh because your description was literally hardline. So,
oh my god.
But number one, Bad Company. I don't give a crap if they use the Bad Company name or not, unless they go back to actual Bad Company mechanics, which I would love if they did.
I'm thinking mostly Bad Company, mechanics and the single player story, right?
Yeah, and I mean, I don't play single player. If you want to have any single player,
Bad Company comes from is the story.
You brought the wrong person on the show. I shoot faces, and they're not NPC faces. So, anyways, Bad Company. If they actually go back to Bad Company mechanics, that would be awesome, right? So that's the only way I care if it's Bad Company. If they're doing Bad Company for the story, I don't give a crap. They could call Battlefield whatever.
That's what that is.
I don't care. What I'd want to see is the same type of weapon mechanics we had in Bad Company 2, which are actually very similar to what we have in Battlefield 5. Accuracy, non-ROF focused recoil patterns.
Just like they have now, right?
Yep, just like they have now. I want to see no. So for those that didn't know, Bad Company had no prone.
No prone.
I personally think we should just rip the Band-Aid off and go no prone. I want to see no prone, no vault.
Nobody had no vault. What?
No prone, no vault. I want to go back to that, dude.
No, let's keep it simple. That. I need the vault, dude. I need some sort of vault.
If Frostbite has taught us anything, it's that they can't fucking vault. They can't figure out how to code vaulting into the game. It has not worked since Battlefield 3. It got introduced in Battlefield 3 and has literally not worked.
It's true.
Since Battlefield 3. We have not had 100%. A game where it's worked. In Battlefield 1, you try to vault, you go prone. Now in Battlefield 5, you just vault everything by accident. There's like a 2-centimeter box on the ground, and I'm like, let me jump on top of this. And it goes, let me vault you.
What about if they actually made it how vaulting should be, but on a new engine?
Stop, Julian. Stop.
Dude,
stop.
I need vaulting.
You're giving them false hope. You're giving them false hope.
It's
Stop
immersion.
It. It's never going to work. It's never going to work, Julian.
Look at Modern Warfare. They brought in fucking vaulting, bro.
We got the Modern Warfare janitors making Battlefield, okay? We can't expect the same level of competent design in Battlefield working with a shit engine, okay?
Did you see all the COD kids go crazy over the Modern Warfare vaulting? Oh, you can get on roofs now, and look at me. It changes the whole map.
If they can make vaulting work, and that's a huge if, I'd be fine with it. But they can't. They can't, dude. They can't make it work. They've shown us for 4 games now that it's not going to work, you know? So I'd love to go back to no vaulting just because it doesn't work. That's really why. I like vaulting. I love to have vaulting if it worked, but it doesn't work. So that's why I say no vaulting. It's got nothing to do with the mechanic itself. It has to do with the fact that it just doesn't work on Frostbite. So, but yeah,
do you want them to make a new? Do you want to make a new Frostbite, or do you want them to can Frostbite? Tough question.
I would love to can Frostbite and go to Source. I'd love to see Battlefield go to Source 2. If Battlefield went to Source 2, it would be incredible, man. And we'd see light years better movement. And that's not to say like it would be like Apex level movement, since for those that don't know, Apex runs on Source 2, but we have more options. I think there's a lot more flexibility in Source 2. I think from a from a design standpoint, using the Source like SDK 100 times better. So yeah, I think Frostbite does not have great track record with first person shooter, and I think Battlefield really shows it. So I'd love to see, and I think we've even seen tweets from developers who are like, this has been an awful experience trying to make a game on Frostbite. So in terms of first person shooters, I forget what the situation was, but there were definitely some tweets that came out about that.
It was the Kotaku leaks, I guess, or people were talking on that website. If you you're doing reviews on your company, basically. I
forget. Yeah. It's something like that. It was Anthem. Something. Yeah, Pepper got it. It was Anthem. That's what it was.
Yeah, the whole Anthem thing. Yeah.
Fix Anthem, and they're like, we can't fix it because this engine sucks.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'd love to see him scrap Frostbite. Go with Source 2 would be my choice. Unreal.
Yeah, Unreal.
Unreal would work fine. I mean, Call of Duty's used it forever.
Can you do
Call of Duty?
Can you do destruction? Can you do destruction in Unreal?
I haven't seen a game with it yet. No, I don't know that you know.
Do you give a fuck? Do you give a fuck about destruction?
I don't. It was fantastic.
So if you get rid of that,
it was fantastic not to have a fucking building fall on my head in Modern Warfare. I'll tell you that right now. So, and people are like, it just meant people were camping inside. I couldn't get them out. Get better. Learn how to aim. You're playing a first-person shooter, you fucking potatoes. You know. So it's Bad Company 2. While it was a great game, the destruction was insane in Bad Company 2. For those that didn't play it, it was kind of like the only part that made Rush potato in Battlefield Bad Company 2 was the fact that you could blow up an MCOM by just blowing up the building. So if there was a sector that had an MCOM that was in the building, you torch the building and it destroyed the MCOM instantly. So there were sectors you could literally just bypass. Some asshole would sit on a hill in a tank and blow up like the building, and then that sector was lost in literally 1 second. Thanks. So it was rough. They fixed that in Battlefield 3 by having the building get destroyed and the MCOM would stay standing, which made for a whole nother host of problems.
Yeah,
because then defensively you could blow up the building and make it 100 times better to hide inside while you'd be under a piece of random rubble prone on the ground. No one could find you.
So Dice Sweden, with their big brains, they're like, hey, we need to solve this issue of destruction. So they came up with, the building aspect here, the fortifications. It's just, it was like, this is what we have. We want destruction. We're going to keep it. Now we need to fix all the problems with it from previous games back in Bad Company 2. Do you like the way it is now, or do you think it needs
might be unpopular opinion?
Poopy.
Just like the lack of explosive spam, I think fortifications is probably one of the best ideas that they had for, and I'm going to phrase this a certain way.
Okay.
One of the best ideas they had for Battlefield 5 that was absolutely executed in one of the worst ways possible.
That's exactly what I'm saying.
It was probably like when I first heard about it, and then when I saw it in the beta, because they didn't really have much of it in the alpha. It was only you could build a sandbag in the alpha, and that was like it. In the beta, they added a little bit more, but it was one of the best ideas they ever had. It was just executed so poorly. Here's my biggest problem with fortifications.
Yeah.
So again, I don't play Conquest. Okay, I play linear game modes. I play Breakthrough, whatever.
Plenty of building in there. Plenty.
Yes. Okay. The issue becomes you're still allowed to build fortifications in parts of the fucking map that have no impact on anything whatsoever. So you have some asset in your squad that's literally in your spawn offensively on Breakthrough, building fortifications to an area of the map that they cannot get to on defense just because it's getting him points or because he's got an assignment that requires him
Rotterdam's a good example. There's a lot of things to build in the main
One of the worst ones is Devastation. When you're playing Devastation and there's some dude who's literally in a part of the map that's never going to get used again because we've already bypassed it, and he's building fortifications. So the fact that you can do it, they didn't think of that as it
goes back to that same issue. They built every map for every game mode. That's they didn't come up with a thoughtful design. Yeah, they didn't come up with a thoughtful design. I mean, granted, on Operation Underground, you could do the same thing, but write that down, Dice. If you're watching this,
I think they should lock they definitely need to lock the areas where fortifications could be built. They need to dial back how many could be built. They should have
you can't go too crazy with it.
They should have just maybe done it so only support could do it. To be honest, that might have been, it's nice that you can do it as another class because if you get in a tough spot, you could throw sandbags up or whatever. But a lot of times, to be honest, if you're in a tough spot, it's probably because you're pinned down by an MG and they're just going to shoot through the damn sandbags anyway. So it doesn't really make a difference.
Fortifications was a selling point. And so if you go hop in the game, you can only do it in one, class.
Yeah, in one class.
Like,
yeah, exactly.
Shit. So they're like, okay, that's a problem. Let's just add it to everybody. We'll just make it slower.
Yeah.
Easy fix, I guess.
Yeah. So, I mean, they could have gone a different route with the one class thing. Maybe it works. Maybe it doesn't work. I see Rad mentioned the ammo health station, so I could see why they do it all class. And granted, the support can build certain ones that the other ones cannot. So the support does have a better benefit with the fortifications. But I think the idea behind it was fantastic in terms of think about it. If we had fortifications in Battlefield 1, how much of a difference maker that would be for those that played operations, what is now called Breakthrough, how much of a difference that would be for rebuilding certain areas of the map. Like if you ever played, Julian, did you ever play, did you play much operations in BF1?
Yeah, I played plenty.
So one of my favorite maps, one of my favorite operations was the it was the one where Amiens was the second map. Ballroom Blitz was the first map. So the last sector of Ballroom Blitz. So it's the flag that's down by the train station. It's the flag that's down by the train station. There's two flags. There's A and B. There's one that's like in a front courtyard outside of the ballroom, and then down the hill, the B flag is in a train station at the edge of the map. And the only cover to go from A from B. So I'm trying to just watch your screen here. So if you offensively, almost every team would take A, no problem, right? The problem becomes B. So it's on the far side of the map where the E flag is, I believe.
Okay, yeah.
So it's where the E flag
is.
Right? Yeah. So the D flag on Conquest right now is where the A flag is on the last sector of Breakthrough. And then the final flag, the B flag, is where E is, right?
Yeah,
it's in that train station. The issue is there's a huge wall that goes in between where D and E are, and it gets blown out in 5 seconds every time. And it's the only cover to try and push down the hill.
Yeah, to get to the train.
Once it's gone, it's gone. And even if you waste a battalion, that when you come back, that wall is still gone. So even if you have another 150, 200 tickets or whatever, you're fighting downhill against a bunch of freaking bipod MGs. Yeah. So I think BF1 would have been super interesting if you could have been able to rebuild things.
I didn't even know this comment here on the picture. Can you even see that?
What?
Well, it says it looks like Demise 99 commented on this here. You said something about
it's cut off from me. I can't see it.
Yeah, it says tried in development, wasn't terribly fun, couldn't try it again.
How the hell could an extra flag not be fun?
I guess they had a flag here. Wow.
Look at how much fucking dead space that is. Why? What is Battlefield's obsession with dead space? I don't understand it. It's mind-boggling to me, dude. That's why I don't play Rush. Like everyone's like, oh, Rush is the best game mode, this, that, and the other. Dude, in BF1 and BF5, it is the worst game mode. I hate it. And this is specifically in BF5, like Narvik is a great example. I like the map Narvik. It's one of the few maps I don't hate in BF5. For Rush,
same.
It's literally atrocious. There's freaking houses everywhere that are nowhere near an objective, and there's always some asshole in the house in the window. Like, I could ignore him or I could kill him, but like, I don't want to go offensively win the game with like 7 kills in 8 seconds. Like, I want to go murder people and then go plant. Like, I want to be able to frag out, man. That's why I play.
This was the first iteration of Rush on Narvik.
And all that shit is in the zone. Look at how much stuff is in the zone, dude. Like, out all the way out. You're talking 32 players, dude. If it was 64 players, it would be a lot more intense because there'd be more action. Intense. But 32 people, dude, you're talking like that whole right side of the map outside B where the train tracks are. And then that whole upper area, outside A. Like, why is that in the game? Cut all that shit out. Like, who made these boundary lines, man? It's so dumb. It's just it doesn't make any sense.
Weird too. Like they're very odd.
Why is it shaped like that? Like look at that freaking red line that your mouse is next to.
BF1 had an issue with that, did they not? I mean, one of the the whole fucking map was completely open. Even what was it? I think it was this breakthrough on Twisted Steel. Remember those boundaries? Like they went all the way.
You're talking about Rush, right?
I think it was Breakthrough. I think it was Breakthrough. Actually, I don't think they had Rush on Twisted Steel, did they? I don't remember.
Wait. Are we talking BF5?
Yeah, BF5.
Yeah. There was Rush, and yeah, you have to be thinking of Rush because Breakthrough on Twisted Steel is actually pretty good.
No, it was Rush. It was Rush. It was Rush on Twisted Steel.
Yeah, because they reworked it. Because I remember the first time I played, it made me quit stream. I quit streaming in like 2 seconds because I loaded in to Rush Twisted Steel. I spawned defensively. So the first sector, and it's still the same now, but the spawn line is different. But the first sector was the bombs were on the bridge, right? Both bomb sites were on the bridge, and the offense spawned down at the bottom of the hill, right? So they were coming up from the town, and both bomb sites were on the bridge. It spawned me, dude.
Yeah, it was over in this area.
In front of A, like 4 feet from their spawn line.
It spawned you over.
And I turned around to run away, and my team had built 7 billion fortifications, and there was a line of barbed past because I was a medic. And I'm like, I'm done. I'm out. I'm out of here, dude. I quit. I rage quit immediately. I was so done with it, man.
So this is what it's like right now, right?
Dude, I don't know. I don't play Rush, man.
Okay, there you go.
No, I think they moved A back up to the bridge. I'm pretty sure A's on the...
Oh yeah, probably like on the right side here. It's like a artillery cannon.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure A and B are next to each other.
You remember remember when people spawned in on this and like got stuck inside of the artillery cannon? I thought that was pretty funny.
Dude, again, who is making these decisions on the map designs? Like, I don't. It's like somebody's little kid with a crayon. You know, I like they're just learning how to draw for the first time. I feel
like they're going off of computer models, man. Of like here, I mean, first they design it right, and it's like, we'll see what happens with what the computer tells us, and so we'll change it from there. Like that's what I think.
You got Breakthrough is one of the most popular modes in the game, right?
Breakthrough,
and it's essentially Rush, but with flags. Okay, and you have Rush was previously one of the things you were most famous for outside of Conquest, right? It was one of your most popular modes. Why wouldn't you just make Rush identical to Breakthrough? Maybe mix it up a little bit, right? Put the MCOM in a different spot, but the maps on Breakthrough generally play okay. I wouldn't call any of them amazing, but there's not even Hamada on Breakthrough the worst. It's better than it is on Conquest, right? So why wouldn't you just follow that design and put the bomb sites where the freaking flags are?
And then
then you could do 64 people. Boom.
They artificially change the amount of tickets based on playtest. So it just goes all off of bad map design, and then they try to counter it using the other features they have in the game, such as like ticket size and all that stuff.
It just it feels like a lot of extra work where there didn't need to be
a lot of extra work. Right.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah, it doesn't make any kind of sense at all to me. That's the route that they went with, you know, because they had the layout there for Breakthrough, and like I like Breakthrough, and I was excited when they announced Rush. Now I played Rush in BF1 when the game first came out because Rush is my favorite game mode, right? And I didn't know what the hell Operations was. It sounded ridiculous and stupid. So I was like, it sounded like some kind of weird single player thing. And I'm like, yeah, I don't play, so I'm not playing Operations.
I agree with Raggedy Man there, dude. I think, you know, I'm a big Conquest
Sorry, I missed what you said.
Breakthrough better than Conquest. In
BF5,
absolutely.
It's so boring. Yeah. Yep.
Conquest this is one of the worst Conquest Battlefield games I've ever played.
Yeah, no, I agree. But yeah, so in BF1, I played Rush in the beginning of the game, but it was so boring. So I eventually I switched over to operations because I'm like, why is this only like 12 on 12? I'm like, and the maps were still huge. I'm like, what is? There's so much dead space. They had like random tanks in. So for
is it
Battlefield
worth it?
5, I'm like,
Silent is here. Is on sale for $20. I don't know. Like it's free weekend, right? It's a free
Silent. Are you on PC or console?
Yeah.
Because if you're on console, probably save your money. If you're on PC, $20. I'd scoop it up for $20. I'd say for $20, it's worth it. As long as you're not a Battlefield 1 fan. If you're a Battlefield 1 fan, if that's like your go-to Battlefield, save your $20. Go buy a cart of cigarettes or something. Lady Ninja, what's up, girl?
What's up, guys? How's it going? Icy is in here.
What's up, Icy?
Good to see you. Good to see you. Kalimera, dude. Good morning. Good morning.
So yeah, when they announced Rush for BF5, I was excited, and it was awful. So
it's kind of bare bones, nothing really much to it.
And I miss it because I mean, you know this, whether or not everybody else knows, I don't really squad up with people generally. And it's not because I don't like people. It's just because usually I'm in and out of games. I play at weird times, whatever. So I don't play. I play by myself 98% of the time when I play. So I'm not getting revived. I'm not having people follow me around and help them. Like, I'm literally on my own 90% of the time. And playing Rush was great for that because even in 64-man servers,
you're still going to get revived.
I could get to the bomb site and plant.
Yeah.
Because I play the objective, man. Like, I go for kills, but I'm not, like, camping to get them. Like, I'm always playing aggro. I'm always going for the objective. Even if it means I'm going to die an extra 10 times, I'm pushing. So
that's why I keep saying to everyone. It's like, you're going to, I mean, the chances of you getting revived, just push. Because the chances of you getting revived are pretty high. So
yeah.
I think people are just scared.
So
the player base right now, you know?
Yeah. So with Rush, I could get to the bomb site by myself, plant the bomb, defend it, and then take it. With the flag in Breakthrough, I can't do that. Like, the minute I touch the flag, you got, 30 seconds to cap it, which means somebody's coming back, assuming they're not there already. You know? So it's impossible as a solo player to win a game with Breakthrough. You just can't do it. You need people to at least push with you.
Yep.
Because
at least a squad or two, at least.
Even if I somehow cap the flag, right? I have to now go get the other flag, which means if nobody pushes to that one, I leave that one and somebody caps it. So
I'm sure there's been many games where it teeter-totters of both flags every single time, and like it's just Alt F4 after that, pretty much.
Yeah, and that's one of the reasons I hate 3 flag sectors of Breakthrough, because it turns even with 64, even in BF1,
like
with
the Devastation
people,
one. What do you think about the Devastation
one? It turns into a game of ring around the rosy. Take A, take B, start taking C, lose A, and then just ring around the rosy for the rest of the game.
Yeah, I mean, I thought Devastation was a good 3 flag sector because they're all in the same building. You still had that same feeling, huh?
Yeah, no. Because the problem is A is too far away. So you take B and C, and then A is
on the far right, right?
Or B and C are in the church, and A is out spawn. So and it's the same thing. So even though B and C are close, if you start taking B after you take A, they have C, or they start taking C back after you go back for A, so it's too much ring around the rosy. Rush is garbage, ladies and gentlemen. It's garbage.
Is it this one?
Garbage. It's horrible. Yeah, see, I don't really I never really focus on farming. Like, I always go for the kills, but I never really. I'm always still trying to win the game. That's always still my objective. It eats away at me if I can't win.
I can't. What was this?
It literally eats away at my soul if I can't win. Like, I'm that guy that flips the table if I lose at the game of life. I'm the guy that flips the table when Monopoly's over and I don't have the most money. So
this is the first sector, right? Breakthrough.
That's the first. Yeah. Wait, okay. Well, let's touch on that for a quick second, because I mentioned the point there. Why look at where the German freaking flag is for spawn and then where B is? Why the shit are those two things so close together? because when you click on spawn, it spawns you right next to that red line. And when you spawn on B, you're right where you're closer than the closest blue dot that's there for the player. So why is spawn so close to the flag? It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, and then people are spawning. Yeah, and then people are just spawning off of everyone at that point.
Yeah, and then to even get to A, you have to run down the street across from B, where they can see you. Like like I love Devastation, but the setup for the spawn timing is so bad. It doesn't make sense to me, dude. Like you could have put B back. You could have put A out to the right.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, granted, they made A in like a building.
It's like in the street, right, or something, or was
it's in the movie theater.
Theater. So it's still here.
Yeah,
but so inside the room, I believe.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah. It just the map design is potato. I mean, it works. Like Devastation's playable for sure. It's probably one of the better breakthrough maps.
Do you think DICE Sweden or DICE, whoever, just anybody in DICE will actually go and fix up or rebalance all the vanilla maps?
No. Because there's no way this is as popular as BF4 was, even with BF4's problems and all the hate that BF4 got.
Fucking shame. It's a damn shame.
Yeah, I mean, they had a lot of potential with this
game, dude. They're gonna can it, I think.
Yeah, they had a lot of potential with the game, and it definitely got mismanaged from a marketing standpoint. That was one of the biggest faults. And then the fact that I want to know what happened from a developmental standpoint that they were that far behind, right? So
I think it was Anthem that kind of fucked up that whole schedule, I think.
Yeah, but Anthem didn't get released for like another year. Anthem was like a year after.
Apparently, they took a whole bunch of DICE Sweden techs to go.
And then Anthem tanked anyway.
Yeah, this is just a bad game.
Yeah,
I think they knew it was gonna. I don't know what EA thought, but yeah,
it's just a matter of like. So again, I said before about EA probably telling DICE that they could not push it back out of 2018, which I stand behind that opinion. But even if they said, no, and that's the reason it didn't get pushed back to when DICE wanted. Why did DICE need that much extra time? Why weren't they on schedule? I mean, those are as somebody who's been in charge of a department before, if I gave my team a project and we told the customer the project's going to be done in 3 months, and my team came back to me towards the end of 3 months and goes, we're going to need another 3 months on top of this, I'd be like, why the hell are you telling me at the end of 3 months? Like, what happened over the course of 3 months that you now need double the amount of time? Like obviously somebody screwed up somewhere. So what happened? So I saw that got announced. Yeah. I hear you. I hear you. I don't know if the stream doesn't hear you.
My bad. I muted myself. My bad.
I'm like, that's weird. I hear you just now.
I think I hit a set of keys that was a shortcut. I believe. Yeah, my bad, guys. But what I was saying is that they're making Medal of Honor. They were developing that game around the same time as Battlefield 5 as well, so they need extra hands to do that as well. From what I've read.
And if you're going to try to go to this live service model, sell this live service model that you talked up so much, and we're getting rid of premium and this, that, and the other, how do you justify that, right? Because at least from the premium side, like even with Call of Duty, with the season pass that everyone always bitches about, paying basically an extra amount, you're basically paying for 2 games, right? You're paying for the equivalent of 2 games when you buy premium or buy the season pass for Call of Duty. They have the maps laid out already that they want to do for the first year.
Yeah.
Right. So it's like the design's already there. And it's just a matter of time until they release it. Whereas like the live service, I feel like they've been working on it as they go along, Not even from the beta test standpoint, where we always make the joke that we've been basically beta testing a game from them since launch.
I don't find that as a joke. I'm serious about that.
Well, no, I agree. I mean, I we say it jokingly, but I agree 100%. That's what it feels like. But like Al Sundan or whatever, or all these maps that we've gotten, they didn't have these ready to go. That they decided they were going to release at X date. They've been making them, and that's the difference. Like if you go back to Battlefield 4 or whatever, the first map pack that we got was already done when the game launched. They just opted to include it as the first DLC pack or whatever,
Yeah.
But it was ready to go. They had the date set.
I was hoping the live service would be at least at the standard of premium, and boy was I wholly off my rocker thinking that was going to be the case. Oh my god.
Yeah, man. Like, why? Who gives a flying shit about skins, man? Why do we keep getting skins? Like, start dropping the guns, man.
Dude, old
drop
school
the guns,
Battlefield
drop the
players,
maps, whatever.
Bad Company 2, BF 3 and 4. Don't give a fuck about skins.
I never had I was excited for live service, not because of the content per se, right? It was because and everyone talks about the split community part, and this isn't even going to be what I really when I say split community, but my biggest problem with Battlefield 1 DLC had nothing to do with premium. It had to do with the fact with, again, as an operations player in Battlefield 1, we got no servers that had the DLC and the vanilla maps mixed together. So the DLC in BF1 was literally worthless to me. Because for 2 weeks, we would play Verdun Heights only, nonstop. But I wanted to blow my brains out, and then it would be dead, and we'd be back to vanilla maps. And then the Russian DLC comes out, and we play the Russian DLC, which was atrocious for 2 weeks because it's the only thing you could find servers in. Yep. And then it's dead, and we're back to vanilla maps again. At no point did they roll in the operations for DLC into the vanilla servers. And you couldn't do RSP like Raggedy said for operations, which was stupid. And then we didn't even get an operation for one of the other ones. We got the operation for the freaking Achibaba one. But again, it only got played for like 2 weeks, and then it was dead, and we're back to vanilla. So for me, as an operations player, as a non-conquest guy, the DLC in BF1 was literally worthless to me. So when they said live service, everyone gets the same thing. The servers are going to have all the same stuff. I was like, dude, that's dope.
Tell us your experience. Awesome. Tell us your experience now that's gone.
Every time Panzer Storm comes up, I want to off myself. And I don't care that it's in the mix. So, I mean, the fact that it doesn't really matter. Like when we got the Panzer Storm op, I was already excited just because they dropped the operation into the mix immediately. There was no Panzer Storm only server. I got it in the mix right away. So, granted, Panzer Storm Breakthrough is atrocious, but at least it was in the, except for Airborne. It's a lot of fun in Airborne.
In the dark, man. Oh yeah.
Yeah. It's a lot of fun in Airborne, but
I think you had a clip on there. You were wrecking people on that.
Probably. I love that map on Airborne, man. It's one of my favorite ones. It's probably one of my.
Is it one of your aggro kings?
Maybe, dude. I don't remember. I have so much BF5 content on there. But it's definitely disappointing now, the live service piece. So even the fact that we get it rolled in to, even the fact that we get the maps rolled into the vanilla maps, it doesn't even. Dude, I had to start. I told you that
this is it here. Let's watch this thing.
This was. I was just laughing because my names are always different.
Oh yeah.
I had to. This one. I maybe your dad.
We need to actually here. Let's just show a little bit and play in the background, but let's talk about this whole issue me and you and a whole bunch of other streamers have been having with this game when it comes to people just fucking with you all the time.
Yeah.
And there's nothing you can do about it. I think we should really
Yeah, so you and Anders had kind of a different experience than I did. So in the beginning of Battlefield 5, I was averaging a lot of viewers. I had Twitch TV in my name. That was, I was putting up monster games, so people were coming to watch or whatever. And I started getting stream snipes like you would not believe. Like,
I don't know. You were talking some crazy stuff. I was like 2 or 3 people.
I had human death squads coming after me, man. I had literally 2 squads of people at one point chasing me across the map. Like, I always play with my viewers and my subs and everything. I don't, like I said, I don't really squad up with anybody. And if I do, it tends to be people from the stream, right? And like, we're not coordinated. I run around, as you can see, I run around like a freaking maniac. So you can't really keep up with me, right?
It's really hard.
I don't expect people to. I don't hate on them when they can't keep up with me or whatever.
It's not just you. It's all anybody that's really good at Battlefield. It's really hard to keep up with. Trying. Yeah, it's hard.
But I told I felt bad for my squad. I would tell people don't join on me anymore, because all that's going to happen is when I'm dead, they're going to come after you, or they're going to be coming after you because you're spawning on me or whatever. Like, it's going to be an even worse experience than normal. So I had to start aliasing, and eventually I had. It worked really well, actually. It worked well for a while. So I had to literally change my name every day. I had to change my profile picture every day. I had to take away my platoon tag. So I had I have a stream platoon for people to rep the channel, the Wrecked platoon, and I had to start wearing that. Had to change literally every day. Had to change my name and my avatar every day to combat it, which sucked because I found like a lot of my original viewers were coming to the channel because I had Twitch TV in my name. But I kid you not, we'd be playing whatever game mode, say Twisted Steel. I'm on defense of Twisted Steel.
Yeah.
And there'd be no joke. All of a sudden, a wave of people who are bypassing the objective and coming after me like in hordes, man. Like, they were hunting me down. And on offense, it was even worse, because if I was playing something like Airborne, dude, if I jumped out of a plane, even if it was late to go for like a flank, there'd be 6 MGs shooting at me as I'm before I'm even out of the plane, dude. It was horrendous. So the aliasing helped a bunch for a while until recently. So I took a break from streaming and just came back the other, like, about a week ago. But before my most recent break from streaming, there was a group of dudes who would stack a server I was in, and I kid you not, there'd be 13, 14 of them in the server. Now, it was these were dudes these were dudes I'd played with before I figured out they were stream sniping me. But it got a little weird because AK7 was one of them. And Rex Franklin, and I got no problem naming. So Rex Franklin, a whole bunch of dudes that have Cal in their tag. Ramirez, I don't know. There's all I don't know.
You know them all. Oh my god.
Well, I know their names because this is what happened, right? So, so all the teams are split up. I'm in a server. The teams are split up, right?
Jeez.
And with these kids, so some of them are on my team, some of them are on the other team. All of a sudden, the map changes to Aerodrome. We're playing operations. So the map changes from Hamada to Aerodrome, and all of a sudden, my team was shit stomping the other team, even though a whole bunch of these kids were on the other team. So all of a sudden, because a whole bunch of people left on the other team, all these dudes that were on my team are now on the other team. So I'm minus 7 people, and all of a sudden, all these dudes are on one side. I'm like, what the hell what just happened?
Yeah.
So now, all of a sudden, I'm being hunted again. I'm in weird spots, and people are guessing where I am, or spamming me before I even peek. Just weird situational stuff. So I start checking my viewer list to see who is in my viewer list.
Yeah.
And there's literally 6 names from the server in my viewer list. And I'm like, yo, what am I looking at? So then I start clicking on their names to save their names for later so I can go, see who they follow and figure out who they are or whatever. And then it turns out one of them streams. So I checked his profile, and he's a streamer. He doesn't really get any viewers or whatever. And I checked to see if he was streaming at that point that night, and he was. And he's in Discord, and he's got a Discord overlay on. And every one of these motherfuckers in the server is in his Discord, dude. All the names are listed up there. And I'm like, dude, there are so many people in this dude's Discord. And literally the first thing that you hear when I join the server is, oh my God, Tyrium's here. We got to start going after him. And I'm like, what? And a whole bunch of their kids were like, oh yeah, let's get a stream open. I'm like, is this real life right now? Like, is this really happening? So I watched the VOD, and that's literally what they did. They coordinated changing teams and literally targeting me. And now we're not talking 2 squads of people. We're talking like 4 squads of people. And I'm like, dude, this is insane. And they're calling strats like it's ESL stage finals for Battlefield. Like they're literally screaming like 100 grand is on the line, dude. I'm like, what is happening right now?
Tyrium, are these the same dudes who attacked Poop Pie Pooper on
I have no idea. I don't know.
Kind of like the same deal. Like they had a whole Discord, and they would all team up.
It was this dude. I'll rattle off some of the names. A bunch of guys who have the tag TO. In game, like one of them was Snap Your Neck, Proven Enough, Solid GG. There was then the AK7 dude. Little SCM was another one. A bunch of the Cal dudes like Ramirez, and they all have a whole bunch of like Hispanic names.
And they're all coordinating, right?
Bro, when I say coordinating, I mean legitimately, like I've heard less intricate strats called in Counter-Strike. Like I couldn't believe what I was listening to. So and I'm not talking like let's go top, like Rad is making jokes about going top mid. I'm talking about like strats about targeting me. Like they're literally talking about where I am on the map, how I'm about to spawn in. Yeah. I'll start spamming, you flank around behind them. And so I had to have a laugh when I came back to gaming again after my 2 months off, because this was one of the last things I was experiencing. And I was already having a hard time with my stream schedule. I was exhausted. I wasn't getting a lot of sleep.
And your baby.
And my little one, business and everything. So I'm having to deal with all IRL stuff and then come on to stream, and that's the kind of shit I'm dealing with. And I'm like, I need a break. So
it's very demoralizing. I went through the same thing. And
so yeah, exactly. So when I came back and I started playing before I started streaming, I happened to end up in the server with these dudes, and there was 10 of them, and I literally dumpstered them like it was going out of stock. Dude, we were playing Rotterdam, and I posted the pic on Twitter. I put up like 38 kills or something, and the best they could do was like 17, and I absolutely trounced them. And I talked trash the whole time, and it was absolutely glorifying. So I was super happy I got to see them without streaming. But yeah, so my experience was a little bit different than yours. Like you and I got only a taste of what you and Enders got from that like handful of kids, like Super Gaming Swee. Like he only bothered me for like 2 days, and you had Zach, the stupid Zach guy, and then the French dude Tien or whatever, who were literally going out of their way to stream snipe you, and then the Super Gaming Swee guy join your team and fake revive you and throw smokes on you and stuff like that.
All gone now.
We actually got that guy banned for like a month.
Yeah, I remember that.
But it didn't last long, and his buddies weren't banned, so it didn't make much of a difference for you. But
so what does Battlefield 5 need to do to stop this?
Actually ban people. I mean, that goes along with the cheaters too. So obviously they can't do anything about the Twitch aspect of it.
No.
In terms of stream sniping, right?
But there's plenty of tools in Twitch to get rid of these people.
Well, so here's my thing though, is that in my mind still violates TOS on the Battlefield side, because you're using third-party tool to grief another player. Without Twitch, you wouldn't be able to. Without Twitch, you wouldn't be able to see. And that was only those. That was only some of them in that case. God. But I marked a whole bunch of them, and I think there might have even more. Like there might have been more on the scoreboard who had even less of an impact. Anyways, yeah. So I would consider it the use of a third-party tool to gain an advantage over another player, which is in the TOS. That's something you cannot do. So if it were me, I would ban these mother effers, and the fact that
what about would a rental server program ban actually help, or
I mean definitely, because if you're in a server, I mean you can get them out and don't have to worry about it. But then for everybody that screams RSP, and I would love to see RSP myself, for everybody that screams RSP is the greatest thing ever. I can't even play Battlefield 4 because I'm banned from pretty much every fucking server that exists at this point.
That's an issue as well.
So you get these power hungry admins that am with the things. So I'm just happy I can play BF3 and I'm not banned from some of the servers on there. So RSP would help, but there's a flip side to that coin. So yeah.
You know this guy?
Bick? Yeah, I know.
Okay.
Yeah, I used to carry him a long time ago in Counter-Strike for a little while, and then I crapped all over him afterwards. So. He tries to keep up with me in Battlefield, but he's always about 20 steps behind, trying to figure out how to move forward.
So how do we fix that issue of good players getting banned? Like, is that something that's not fixable?
No, it's not fixable. That's not fixable. That's been a problem in any game that's had RSP ever. I mean, that used to happen in the original version of Counter-Strike. There were no pug systems like ESEA and Faceit and some of the other services that allow you to play, casual 5v5. So funny enough, people talk about how a game needs to be built from the ground up as a competitive game like Counter-Strike. Counter-Strike was never built as a competitive game. I mean, it used to be like 20 on. Yeah, it was. I mean, it was built with the idea of tactical experience, but the original servers that you play in had 20 to 30 people in them. So the max player count in the original Half-Life game was 32. So you'd see a lot of servers with 32 people. So you had the whole, experience of a bigger game, with maps that maybe didn't require it. So
goofy modes in Counter-Strike too.
Yeah, and there'd be some weird modes that didn't get played competitive, hostage rescue and the VIP assassination map and things like that.
Gun game was one of my favorites. I love
that. Yeah. So I mean, there's always there was always parts of Counter-Strike like that, but there were no platforms outside of League to play competitively unless you had a server and you organized with 9 of your other friends to play like random 5v5s, random pickup games. But the big popular thing back then was these public servers, these, player-controlled public servers for a particular clan. A clan would have, their own server that ran these 3 maps, with this player count or whatever. And there'd be like a freaking 20-minute wait to get in the server every night at 8:00. So these servers are super popular. But if you pissed an admin off, like if you killed them like 6 times in a row, you guarantee you were getting banned. Like every time. I mean, it's been a problem for as long as rental servers that were controlled by players have been a thing.
I guess the only way to fix that is to have a healthy player base, a large number, and that means more servers.
That doesn't exist. That's a gaming myth. Doesn't matter what game you play. There's not a healthy player base.
I want to thank Engineer Guide for that host earlier on. Appreciate it, man. Thank you all for joining us today. We have this Battlefield show with a new guest every single Saturday around 8 p.m. Pacific time. So if you guys enjoy what you guys are seeing, give the channel a follow. Go follow Tyrium. He also great streamer for Battlefield. And do you have any other games that you're lining up here coming up soon? Anything to look forward to it?
Yeah, man. I'm definitely going to be diving into Modern
Warfare.
I played the bejesus out of that beta, and I loved every second of it. And I was cautiously optimistic about Modern Warfare. I was excited that they were going back to Modern Warfare. I like the ideas that they were talking about, but I know their track record. And just like Battlefield, they overpromise and underdeliver plenty, and they haven't really had a good Call of Duty in a long time.
Well, I'll be watching and trying to get your opinions. I value your opinions on most of these first-person shooters, so I definitely gonna stop by a lot because I'm really not sure about Modern Warfare. And if you're just out there freaking doming people, I might have to go give it a chance for sure.
Yeah, man, it's a lot of fun. I did post one video from the beta up on my YouTube, so if anybody wants to check that out and see some plays up there, I had a pretty nasty domination. So, but yeah, that's definitely on my list. I'm going to be playing that probably more than Battlefield 5 once it comes out, assuming the game releases okay and doesn't have any major problems. But yeah, Modern Warfare, super excited.
All right, cool. Well, that's pretty much everything I wanted to cover. We at the 2-hour mark right now.
Crazy.
Would you like to watch some clips from around the community with us here? And,
yeah, man, definitely.
We'll react to them. And then that'll be the end of the show. And next week on the Battlefield show, we have Omni Baranox. So we'll see how that goes.
Good player.
Yeah, excellent player. There's a lot to get to know about him. He has a lot of hobbies. He has a big gun collection right here. So,
dude, I saw that shit on Twitter today, actually.
Yeah, there's a lot of things I want to get to know about this dude. Excellent Battlefield player and competitive player indeed. So that'll be next week for sure. And then Daddy Drip Drips.
Tyrium guitar solo. I'm commenting to guitar solo.
Yeah. And yeah, so Daddy Drip Drips, I'll talk to him next week and see if I can maybe get him in for like a Thursday stream or something like that. I'm not sure. Or we'll just schedule him for the next Saturday after that. I'm still working on scheduling people for the Battlefield show. So anyway, let's get on to watching some Clipperinos here.
I think I even have one in there somewhere.
Oh, sweet.
I think I posted one today. Yeah, I did.
Sweet. Okay, let's change over. I hope that worked. Did that switch over? Let's see. I think it did.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
I see me in the corner, you in the corner. Yep.
Okay, sweet. All right. Let's start. Here's the clip section here. Let's close some of these down.
Clip section.
Yeah, I can't talk. Crap section. Okay, no. Let's start here with Crystal. Who I met over there at TwitchCon. Great to hang out with you. The little time we had, but it was really fun to hang out with you. Crystal, thank you for sharing on here. Let's start with her clips here. Let's see what we got.
No, I failed.
You notice
that works.
What the hell just happened?
I have no idea.
I got nothing.
Yo, it's Ed Rampart. What's up, man?
But I don't know how she plays this game on a daily basis with about 40 to 60 frames. Oh
yeah, it looks choppy, right? Okay, I'm glad it's not.
Yeah. She's running like a 30, 40 some frames here.
Good God.
Yeah, it's pretty nuts. Okay, thanks for sharing that one here. The next one, part 1 of 5 immersion gameplays. Okay, let's see.
On C?
No,
I can't climb. Oh, he's dead.
Oh shit!
You're stuck.
What the heck?
I am the bike. I am now the bike.
Wait. Is that her dead body? It says her name on there.
Trying to revive, can't revive.
She's alive.
No, dead.
Wait, who are we watching here then? Is this someone else?
No, I can't climb.
Was this Johnny?
You're stuck in the bike.
I think he was going for the revive, and instead just double seated there.
Okay. No. Very immersed indeed. There's Crystal. It's your dead body. Okay. Oh, it's Johnny's. Okay, got you.
Yeah. Okay, that's what I thought. It made more sense to me that way.
I thought it was an out of body experience or something. All right, next one. Oh,
you're stuck in the bike.
I am.
Oh, that's you. Okay, this is your.
Wait, no, I can't.
Climb inside me, Johnny.
I am.
Oh boy. This is
Yeah, the
escalated.
screenshot did.
I am.
It's getting dirty.
Literally teabag.
This is who I am now.
That's a first.
Crystal.
His squad mate was holding a gun to him, saying, "Get off." Stop sitting on Crystal's face.
My bad.
That's a big picture of me.
I'm so
That's
used
still a
to.
big picture of me.
Is it still?
Nope.
We're good now,
We're
right?
back to normal.
Okay, good. Okay. Boca Rocha. Here
Yeah, this
we go.
kid sucks. This kid's
Yeah.
garbage. This kid's trash.
Toxic player. Look at this.
Oh my
Oh
god.
no.
Where are these plebs when I'm playing? The minute I shoot one guy, they all turn.
Fucked.
And I mean, granted, I'm amazing, so I still kill them all. But what the hell, dude? Where are these bots when I'm playing? Not a single one of those guys turned. Look at this.
This
Look
guy
at this
just
dude.
happened to go. They don't
That guy
care.
was-
There's so much
That guy was
going
putting-
on sometimes.
What was that guy doing? Go back to that freeze frame real quick. That guy was like putting spare change in his pocket as he was running by. Like, look at dude, not a single person. He doesn't get shot one time.
Look at
and
that
I'm pretty
guy.
Sure, I'm pretty sure
Oh
he's
my
standing
God,
next to a
get
guy when he's
fucked.
doing all this. Like, I'm pretty sure he's touching shoulders. He might have even gave the guy a little butt slap.
Okay, here we go. More Rocha. Tactical.
I'm gonna drive to this dude's house and play from his computer. He doesn't live that far away. 'Cause I don't know where he's finding these people, but I gotta play. Finally, somebody shot at him, dude. Look at that.
Another fat flank. Brought to you by Boca Boy.
Yeah, this guy doesn't even revive. What is he playing? Call of Duty?
Yeah.
Oh, look at it. All right, there we go.
Finally got it.
All right.
Yeah, Reddit would have had his ass if he didn't revive that guy.
Okay. Next one here. We got quite a few. I don't know if we'll make it through all of them. Shit. Nice murder.
Oh boy.
Nice.
Did he? Yeah,
He threw
kicked
it.
He kicked it. Yeah, they told us we were gonna be able to throw nades back. Instead, we just hit it with our pinky toe in whatever fucking direction I'm looking at the time, which half the time is toward my teammates, who unfortunately for them have to blow up.
And they're usually stuck in the ground, so I can't fling them at all.
There we go. Now we're getting some.
Boca doesn't even care.
There we go.
Boca doesn't
Yeah.
even care.
He had like a J.J. Abrams lens flare on the end of that one. Oh yeah, I've played ping pong with people before, Lady Ninja.
Slay the men. Indeed. So many. Oh!
Damn, he's firing them up.
That was a shotgun right in his abdomen. He
Yeah,
had
so that's
30
what I'm
health
talking about
left.
with the shotguns too, is that they don't make any damn. I died to one, not even the drilling. I died to the
Right.
M19 whatever from 80 meters away, and then the next time the guy tries to shoot me, it takes him 6 shots to try and kill me, and he fails. and
Halves of
it's point
steel.
blank.
Where are the men at, Boca? There
Yeah,
we go.
this is a clip of you looking at a smoke.
Oh man.
There we go. There we go.
He's not dead yet. Oh my god, there we go.
God, dude. And then fun. And then he dies to a Bretta. What?
There's too many.
Oh my god.
There's
Do I have to start playing Conquest or something? Potatoes are?
Yeah, man.
Jesus,
Get on
man.
that. I don't know how he's doing those. I can never do those flanks, dude. Oh, well, now with the stupid guns I'm using, like the Madsen, you can't do that with the Madsen.
No, by the time you've fired
Reload.
6 bullets out of the Madsen, you've already been shot and killed 3 times. So
Oh god. Okay, well here's his buddy in crime, poop man. See what the hell he's doing.
Hey man, they could be.
yeah, I just call him Poop because I
to
can't figure his
anyone's
name out.
right.
Poopy.
Dude, how
I was
are
like,
there
whoa.
even? Is
They
it just
added
him
the
and like
Madsen.
5 other squads that play Firestorm on PC?
Oh my god.
There's only
Oh
8
my
alive.
god, I'm
Looks
gonna
like
collat
it just started.
headshot!
Right, that's what I'm saying.
Oh, you did it!
headshot and then I collided them. Oh my god.
Poopy gets so excited over these this game mode, man. I wish it was really popping. He would have such a better time. But
I had fun with it in the beginning, but
yeah,
you know, at the end of the day, it was still VR. So I was like, yeah, I'm going back to the.
Yeah.
You dummies.
Oh, it's so toxic. Oh no.
Can you even see people teabagging you in Firestorm?
I don't know. Probably not. I thought they were gonna fix Firestorm.
The bullet.
I guess they stopped.
Why is it cutting me off, guitar?
See you, kid.
I'll sit closer.
No,
Yeah.
There you go. Now I'm like in a really weird angle to the camera because I'm looking at him.
That's fine.
Is in a team too.
Yeah.
What is happening? Are they communicating? I don't have sound, so I'm watching these without sound, obviously. So
you can watch it with sound. You can watch it with sound just as we're playing it.
Let's evil knife me. I'll just. I'm gonna lay with him. I'm gonna lay with you, buddy.
Oh yeah, I forgot. Second computer.
I'm laying right next to him, dude.
What a goofy time they're having there, man.
He makes me laugh whenever he laughs. This laugh makes me laugh.
You can go inside their bodies. Oh, wait, is the guys coming? Oh, there is, right on me, dude.
That's how little people are playing Firestorm. That's how shit.
His laugh is something else.
Oh my god, dude.
Weapon skin choice, though, yeah. What the hell is he doing? What is he doing? I hate this automatic play. I don't know why it does that. All right. Center. Let's see what we got, dude. Doing some nutty stuff here. Volume's pretty low on this one.
Yeah, I don't even hear it and I have it on, so. The delay is actually not bad either. I hear what I say right after I finish what I'm saying.
Oh, nice. I swear we've seen that clip like hundreds of times. People going up.
I'm pretty sure I invented that.
Yeah. Oh my god.
I remember playing Frontlines on this. I had that a bunch of times from Grand Ops.
Interesting play there.
Yeah, I don't know. I would have murdered all those people.
They're smoking this team right now. Everyone in their weird color schemes, dude. Is everyone like blind out there or something? What is this?
Everybody always asks me about it. I don't really have like a weird color scheme. I just make the colors more bold.
Yeah. This is pink and red, like.
Yeah, nah, I don't like my blue is just dark blue, light blue.
Yeah.
The green is dark green.
What the heck? Hey, thanks for sharing that one. Santa. All right, next one here from Santa. 5 minutes. Oh my god. You gonna watch this whole thing?
No. Fast forward.
Let's see. Where the action at? Where are the men? There we go. There's some men. What is that? That guy's picking his nose for sure.
Yeah. Yep.
So you haven't tried the new Rush at all, or you just?
No, I have. It's still dog shit.
Okay, gotcha.
I was so bored. I tried playing it for the first half of one of my streams, and I was like, this is so boring. I can't even find people.
I mean, yeah. Player base here, even on this map, like what the? Look at there's like 3 of them just AFK right there in the corner. You see?
Yeah. That guy's prone. What a surprise. That's what I'm saying, Enders. That's what I'm saying. Every time I find a group of people, the minute I shoot one,
just standing there,
it's like it's like a freaking beacon goes up above my head, and like a big ringing bell, and everybody turns to shoot at me. I mean, it makes for great clips because when I win the fight, it looks dope as hell. But
okay, not much going. It's just rush.
This is rush. So this is 5 minutes of nothing. It's 5 minutes of bomb plants.
Oh, there we go. Get that man.
Oh, fail.
God, this gun is so derpy. Okay. All right. Thanks for sharing that.
Listen, Ollie, I tell it like it is, man.
Oh, my bad. I keep hitting the wrong buttons. My bad. Here we go. Much better.
That's why people love me / hate me, Ollie.
Tyrium, what are you doing?
A mental breakdown. I had a team. What are you doing?
Dude, this is the day I almost.
Oh my god.
I was literally screaming into my mic, dude. I was like, my whole squad followed me over there. And then he gets knifed by the guy. I forgot all about that. Who clipped that for me? That was great. Dude, I couldn't take it, man.
Hard Gerard got you.
Oh, dude, I was so angry.
All right, we got Ender's boy clip here. Trilobites? Ooh, it's a trilo nest.
What? They did an AP mine.
Wait, what? It was an AP mine, little delay there.
They did an AP mine.
Yeah. Well, because I think it showed too the explosive hit or whatever.
I see. We're still good here? Okay, we're still good. All right, nice. Okay. All right, Miyafuji again. I think of Miyafuji. Let's see. Yes, Miyafuji. Oh, I totally forgot you can get up there.
Yeah, only if that thing doesn't explode.
Yeah.
Most of the time, it's pretty fucking exploded. Yo, is he rocking my ruby? My man.
Oh my god.
What the hell? Did that lag or did he like teleport?
Yeah, I don't know. Miyafuji has a weird setup. I don't know where all this
cheater
stuff goes wrong. Oh, he's going for it.
Oh, dude, this is a man after my own heart right here, baby. My man. I don't know who that is, but I love you. Because that's something I would do every damn time.
Yeah, it's Miyafuji, dude. Crazy. Oh.
Oh.
I thought that was a collat, almost.
My man just got a haircut.
Mm-hmm. Guitar
that
solo.
That was a sick accident for sure, though.
Yeah. PS4 Mac bullets.
This is already minus 10 points for being console.
Oh god. I think the audio's a little off too. I don't know why.
It's low for me, so I can't even really hear it. Like, what am I watching?
Oh, that's
Jesus.
And he's getting shot in the back by somebody who can't hit. Jesus, dude.
What do you think about cross-platform, Tyrium? For battle?
I'll take those skills.
Yeah, hell yeah, right? I think every game needs to be, every first-person shooter, I think in the future needs to be cross-platform. I think.
If they can find a way to deal with cheating, absolutely.
Yeah, we'll
Otherwise,
see how it goes
console
with
players won't play with us.
Yeah, we'll see how it goes with Modern Warfare. It'll be fine.
Supposedly, they're supposed to be taking the Overwatch approach with bans. So
like clusters, or like groups.
No, like you fucking lose your Blizzard account and all the games.
Say again, you were cutting out there. What?
You lose your Blizzard account and all the games that go with it.
Oh yeah, dude, that's what it always should be for sure. Nightbot timed out dynamics for 5 seconds. Oh no, you got
get wrecked, dynamics.
Yeah.
Get wrecked, bro.
Keine
What is this? What, dude? He just vaulted that guy like a horse. Bro, I'm telling you right now, if I was the guy that got stabbed right there, I literally throw my monitor across the room.
Dude, do you hear that? Hold on, listen to the yelling or something. Is that a song or something?
I don't know.
Crazy kill logic, man. Oh shit, here we go again, dude, with this. God damn it. I'm so used to going down there and
clicking. Pull yourself together, man.
It's a last minute show, man. I'm freaking out, man. Slam.
I'm freaking out, man. Dad.
Music in the back, got you slammed. I'm gonna be fucking pissed.
Slam. Drips was there too.
Streamer didn't settle for 69 kills, bruh. Listen.
72 and 7.
1 and 11. Oh my. 1 and 11.
Oh god, I heard Anders.
Yeah, he fought hard. He fought hard for that one. You don't discount that, man.
1 and 11 on my team.
Lost.
1 kill. Imagine playing that entire rush game and only getting 1 kill. 1. 1.
Sounds about right, dude.
Imagine. Slammed.
Fuck you, dude. He's stream sniping. Guitar Show is literally stream sniping.
Ban / slammed. That's what it should be. / slammed. Nice one. Okay, a couple more here, and then we'll go raid somebody here. Secret Squirrel.
Lucky me.
Really?
I'm way too good.
I'm way too good in a while.
Sorry,
he says really. Lucky me.
Dude, I try that multiple times. I always miss. And if I do get it, it's sick accident, bruh. Pretty much.
We definitely gotta pull up my clip.
Yeah, for sure. How many? Is this the only one here, or was there a few down?
Hang on. It was from Streamable. It wasn't it wasn't a Twitch clip.
Okay, we'll watch yours as the last one here. Did I pass it? Oh. So we'll do Hydro and then Tyrium, and then we'll move on for the night. Here we go. The Flank Master, man.
Here we go.
Yeah, we've seen this already. All right. Bunch of bots over there in the windows.
It cracks me up when nobody watches the stairs, man. I've definitely pulled that off a couple times. But that's the BF5 player base for you.
This guy's ready with his grenade.
Let's see if we can flank up this direction.
ZK, by the way. Saiga, dude, welcome back, man.
Oh no.
Is this console? This has gotta be console, right?
No, it's PC.
Is this sensitivity like 1%?
I don't know. Hydro's you know, he's a good player. I think it's because he snipes a lot. He snipes a lot, so he probably kept the same.
It looks low. That's why I thought it was console, dude, because it looked like it was slow left to right.
He's a really good sniper, really good. So I think he just kept the same sensitivity and went with it. And
that would make sense.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, Tyrium, let's check out your streamable here.
Yeah, I'm fading, man. It's 1:30 in the morning.
I know. I know. Here we go. Last one, guys.
Baby's gonna be up in like 5 hours.
With the clicky boy. What did you do?
What you say? That you only meant well, cause you did. What you say? That it's all
dude uninstalled the game real fast. I don't even know where he is.
What you say?
Point out that I have no fucking idea where he actually was. I started getting shot in the back and I did like an insta 180.
Did she say?
I still don't know where he was.
Oh my god. Okay, guys. That was a fun time talking with Tyrium. Thank you again.
Yeah, no problem, bro.
For joining up, my dude. Let's go
I'm
back.
never gonna let it go that I was not the first guest and somehow wasn't even going to be the third guest. But hey, whatever.
Hey, it worked out. It worked out.
And apparently wasn't going to be the fourth guest because that guy's already scheduled for next week too. So
you got me, dude. You got me. I blew it. I blew it. Okay, guys. Well, again, I hope you guys enjoy the show. If you did, we'll have another one next week with Omni Baranox, and maybe a surprise one if Daddy Drip Drip is down. I have a whole set of questions for him, man. So I hope he gets better, and then we'll do a Daddy Drip Drip's Battlefield show coming up soon. So watch out the Twitter. Follow me on Twitter. Follow freaking Tyrium on Twitter. Follow everybody I interviewed on Twitter, man. I'm not
Twitter.
even joking.
I'm just gonna start saying
Twitch.
Twitter
And Twitch too, and Twitch. But I appreciate you guys. We're gonna end the stream here, and I will catch y'all, I think, tomorrow for a follow-up show. If I'm not doing anything, I'll let you guys know. Okay? Everyone have a good night. If you enjoy the stream, give it a follow. Again, don't forget to follow my friends. I'll catch y'all later. Take her easy. Have a good night. Bye-bye.